Kingston Pike, especially in the Bearden area, heavy but moving 40 east and west over the top of West Hills. Still building down from the north on 75 coming out of Campbell County through Anderson County. Plenty of radar this morning in both of those counties. If your check engine light comes on, don't panic. Google search Knuckle Busters Amco Knoxville. Amco, serving East Tennessee since 1962. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds!
Ladies and gentlemen.
All I know is you never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
What is it with you and this obsession with this varsity crap?
People come to us because we don't sell them on internet. They can't refuse because of the implication.
You wonder ever you're a bad man?
World needs bad men. We keep the other bad men from the door. Some things are a matter of duty.
The world's greatest radio show in Tennessee.
That doesn't sound right, but I don't know enough to dispute it.
I was about to take advice from a clown who dives headfirst into the shallow end of the pool.
It's Talk Sports with John Reed and Cody McClure.
If it is to be said, so it be, so it is. So it is. So it is. So it is.
It's a Tennessee thing!
Well, I'm holding
Back in the booth, back on the airwaves, coming at you live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. John Reed, Cody McClure, Sam Beard, Bad News Bubba. It is Monday, September 29th. Let's talk some sports. Cody, how was your weekend?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Watched some football. Yeah, that's about it. Just hung out with the fellas yesterday and watched some more NFL. It's a good time. A lot of good games. Good to be here. Good to be anywhere. Welcome to the Freak Show. Hello to the freaks, and hello to you all. Happy Monday. How we doing?
Happy Monday. Happy Monday to everyone. Sam, you good over there? Sports overload.
I am doing good. I kind of had to take yesterday off, honestly, with the way that the Titans play. I just really load up all my football into Saturday, and then I unfortunately just am forced to watch the Titans game out of my fandom respect, and then I kind of just said, I'm done with football for the weekend. Let me try and reset the brain and come into Monday feeling fresh. So started to watch a movie, but then I just fell asleep in that, honestly.
Yes, they were not very good yesterday. It was a tough outing.
Yeah, the Titans didn't affect my mood really 1% yesterday, which is nice. I mean, I had them on one of the quad boxes, but didn't affect my mood. It's one of the worst teams I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the worst team I've ever actually had to watch. So it took 3 weeks before I was able to fully emotionally disconnect. But yeah, yesterday didn't do anything for me at all. I was watching NFL, and then I had the Ryder Cup pulled up, watching it. I would say overall the events was a little lackluster, it felt like, on Friday and Saturday, just, with America getting its ass kicked and not really any drama, it felt like. But then I thought on Sunday, it delivered in terms of making it a memorable, cool event. You only get it once every 2 years. This one felt like a flop, and then all of a sudden it was really, really fun.
Yeah, I got fired up yesterday for the Ryder Cup for sure. There was that, 45-hour stretch that you thought like, hey, we just beat their top 4 players out there in singles. Maybe we can go out there and pull off a miracle. But then just, a couple couple bounces didn't go your way, and ultimately the 7 or 8 point lead that they had ended up being the difference, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I started believing like, okay, maybe this will go on to the end, but I was like, the three guys that were in at the end that they probably thought weren't going to come down to it. At the start of the day, I was like, there's no way they're all three winning.
Yeah,
especially like Morikawa, he's not winning. He's a choke artist. Bubba, how are you on this Monday morning?
Grateful to be alive, John.
Amen to that, brother.
Very frustrated in college football. Fernando Mendoza, I was the victim of the safety. And I could have turned a combo meal into more than a paycheck. But by a half a point, Fernando Mendoza wanted to decide to run out the clock for more than that was on the scoreboard. And he ran it all the way through the end zone, John. And Saturday night made me want to, just gather my thoughts for a while. And then Sunday, it is what it is. I'm watching the Colts-Rams game. I'm feeling somewhat confident in the way this team is playing. I'm liking what I'm seeing. And then A.D. Mitchell just decides to just keep making mistakes. And I get it. Things happen. You have a more increased role, so you're kind of getting used to this. But not securing the football when you run through the end zone, what are we doing here? And then on another 5-yard run by Jonathan Taylor, you're going to hold the guy too.
Yeah.
Very obvious as he breaks through. That kid's called back, and we end up losing here, John. It's just not a lot I want more than to just bury my head into a pillow and just keep it there.
It was tough. Bubba. So what was you had Indiana minus 6.5? Huh?
Minus 5.5.
Minus 5.5.
And they won 20-15.
Goodness.
Is he still the Heisman front runner after Saturday?
No, he won't be a week from now when his kneecaps are busted.
Dante Moore and Ty Simpson at the top.
Ty Simpson, boy. Yeah, it was a big weekend of football. Big weekend. I played some cards Saturday night too. That was fun. Played a little poker with the fellas. I love doing that.
What kind of poker?
No money on the line or anything, of course.
Clothing optional?
What? No.
Okay.
Clothing was on. Everyone was heavily clothed. It was cold. A bit of an Arctic chill.
5.5 before the game, or a live bet, or did you do an alternate line, or
before? I made this parlay like a couple days before Saturday. And then I took an alternate for that line.
Okay, I was gonna say, because I thought that line was like at 7.5 or 8. I didn't see anybody really complaining about that safety, which was a weird choice. I guess I get it. It saves the game, but I don't know if I want my quarterback getting chased from behind by a guy. Like if the guy had caught him and stripped him in the end zone, that would have been an all-time boneheaded
Like he
play.
could have, arm punted it all the way.
Yeah, like
it was kind of just a really strange thing too, because he didn't need to go take the safety.
Yeah,
and then also
the clock was already expired.
In his post-game interview, he also says "Hey, I'm sorry to the people out there with the spread or whatever." Like he was aware of it, and then he also just doubles down and then runs 20 yards further into the end zone for the safety. Like I feel like he had some inside information here.
Well, I will say,
the guy was spread.
I will say you can't go down. You can't go down outside the end zone if you're him. Just because you're not going to see the clock. I don't want him staring at the clock when he's running. I think if you commit to it, you got to go all the way. Because the absolute worst thing is fumbling in the end zone. The second worst thing is you slide down at the 10-yard line and there's a second left, which almost happened. I mean, the end of the game last night in the Cowboys-Packers, I don't know if you guys stayed up to watch that, but
oh yeah,
all-time boneheaded, Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur clock management, where they're throwing in the end zone just nonchalantly as time's ticking down, and somehow the Cowboys clock operator, maybe he hates Jerry Jones, maybe he's a big Micah Parsons fan, to not at least
run it to zero
and make the refs put a second back on. I feel like at the very least you let it go and the refs review it and say, okay, put a second back on, but you at least got to look like you're doing the home team a favor.
What a letdown after such a great game. I hate when a game ends in a tie, No winner. Nobody wins.
It didn't bother me last night. Now, I will hate looking at the one on the standings. Like, I hate that. That irks me when you see a tie in the standings and it just throws everything off. But that game felt like a game that it was worthy of ending in a tie. Now, I got some questions about, like, game theory whenever I think it's maybe not the right move to take the ball second in overtime with the new overtime rules where both teams are guaranteed the ball even with a touchdown. Obviously, when a team scores a touchdown and ends the game, yeah, take the ball first. But now they switched that and they said, hey, both teams are going to get the ball. And the Packers won the toss and deferred. To which I, at the time, thought, I maybe would just want the ball out here. Go against this Cowboys defense that's tired. Control the pace. Do whatever you need. Give the ball back to the Cowboys, at the least with like 3 or 4 minutes left. Make them run against the clock. Instead, it was the Packers that didn't really have time to run a full drive because I don't know what the hell they're doing clock management.
Well, they let the Cowboys use 6 minutes. I mean, basically.
Right. Yeah, which is part of the reason I think I'm taking the ball first there. If they beat me with a walk-off 2-point conversion, they just beat me with a walk-off 2-point conversion. I'll take my chances.
Yeah. Well, both teams had a lot of opportunities to make the plays to end it, and it just never happened. That 4th down conversion, that was a killer for Dallas.
It seemed like Green Bay could have had 10 yards across the middle of the field anytime they wanted it. It seemed like, Dallas, they were talking about how their backup linebacker was in. Chris Collinsworth was basically like, this guy's a moron. Let me circle this guy here. He can't cover man. He can't cover zone. I don't know how he's in the NFL. Boom, 4th down. There's 10 yards. Okay. Oh, 3rd and 15 from the goal line. All right, here's a touchdown. Middle of the field's wide open. Yet Green Bay gets to the end zone, gets to the goal-to-goal situation essentially at the 5, and it's like, here's a bubble screen. Here's another bubble screen. It's like, no, throw the ball across the middle of the field.
I got my Josh Jacobs 2+ touchdowns. He was electric in the second half.
Josh Jacobs was good. Dak was good. Dak balled out. Dak deserved to win. He definitely didn't deserve a loss. So there was part of me that's like, tie's a fitting end here. Tie's a fitting result.
Yeah. Yeah, I could have used the Green Bay -3.5 spread alternate. At that point, when I figured out that Green Bay wasn't going to cover my alternate spread, I was kind of rooting for Dallas. But no one won. I don't like when nobody wins. Everybody plays. You play the game to win,
Green Bay did not play the game to win. Green Bay played the game to tie. Like the way they handled the clock there was very weird. I don't think they were playing to win.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing at the end of the game there.
I don't feel like 10 minutes is long enough in overtime. If both teams are guaranteed to get the ball, I don't think it's long enough. I think it just needs to be 15 minutes or at least, at the very least, give both teams 3 timeouts. The 2 timeouts thing's a weird wrinkle. I don't know. It was gross, but it was fun at the same time. A fitting end to a long, long day of football, a gross, London game for most of it that got exciting towards the end. A 1:00 slate that didn't really produce anything memorable. Chiefs-Ravens was a dud, but at least Cowboys-Packers delivered. We'll talk about the NFL in hour 2 or hour 3. We'll come back. We'll talk about the Vols surviving in Starkville. Stick with us. Let's talk sports on FANRUN Radio.
Big Orange Country's home for sports. This is FANRUN Radio.
Ready to launch your career? Axle Logistics is a leading third-party logistics company where excellence is an energy. With an award-winning culture, Axle proves that positive outcomes come from a positive environment and a work hard, play hard mentality. At Axle, the drive for success is infectious. And with an uncapped commission structure, hard work isn't just noticed, it's rewarded. For those with big goals and even bigger dreams, Axle Logistics is the place to start your career.
What kind of day is it? It's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. Come on, grab a pack. White Claw, Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavor. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues. Every bet type you can imagine. Live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
For over 3 years, Crumble Cookies has served the Knoxville area. From Clinton Highway to Parkside Drive, even our friends out in Maryville have reached you, our fans, with the best cookies in the game. This fall, Crumble is gearing up for yet another fantastic season. Whether you're tailgating or looking for a pick-me-up after getting the kids from school, Crumble has you covered. Download the Crumble app to check out this week's rewards and features. And stop on by. Tell them FanRun sent you, but don't miss the cookies.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Good morning. A steady flow of traffic coming down 75 right now out of Campbell County and Anderson County. Plenty of radar. We've had to deal with it on and off this morning in both of those counties as traffic remains stop and go here at Emory Road right at I-75. It's heavier than it was through downtown, 40 westbound, especially right here at 17th Street, Alcoa Highway. If your check engine light comes on, Google search Knuckle Busters Amco Knoxville. Amco, serving East Tennessee since 1962. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Here we go.
Tennessee is on the ropes for a little bit there in Mississippi. Road woes, road game from hell, the Josh Heupel letdown, the Josh Heupel questionable decision-making, all on the table. But Joey Aguilar pulled out his cape. Chris Brazzell, Braylon Staley, Mike Matthews, Deshaun Bishop. Give it to me, Bubba. Deshaun Bishop.
Big, bad Deshaun Bishop.
Runs away in overtime, and then the boys get a goal line stand. And Tennessee survives and gets an SEC road win. Just like they drew it up. Never in doubt. Tennessee heads to the bye week with a chance to get healthy after surviving. Cody, what were your thoughts?
I'm beginning to fear that our defense is not any good. I'm holding out for Jermod McCoy. I think that's a big difference maker if we can get him back on the field. And I know we're still a little banged up on the defensive line. You got Jackson Moy back. But, man, they just a frustrating game. Just a thrill ride that I did not want to take. You know, I didn't think it was going to be easy, but I at least thought, maybe we'll be in control of the game. It'll be one of those where we're kind of like, you know, they stay within striking distance, but we control it. Many points in the game, we were not controlling the game. And, you know, you get out with a win, and at the end of the day, is that all that matters? I mean, we discussed it last week, survive and advance. You survived and you advanced, but I think we left ourselves with a lot of stuff to work on. I mean, thank God we're going into a bye week with a W, though. You know, that's the thing. You had to get the win. You got the win. And so all those things you did poorly, you can correct on the film, and you don't have to sit there with an L in hand. So
let's dive into that first thing you said about the defense, because that wasn't my takeaway. Why was that yours?
You know, it was back and forth. At times I thought, man, our defense is making some plays. They're looking good, but they just gave up so much, you know, and it was just an inconsistent play from the defense, I thought. At times we were we would bottle Mississippi State up, and I thought, okay, yeah, we've kind of gotten it together, but then we just I feel that we allowed too much. We couldn't really bend and break, you know. I thought we broke too much when we bent.
I don't know. I look at it and say the defense for Tennessee scored 14 points, and that 3 of Mississippi State's touchdown drives were like under 30 yards because of turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in terms of what Mississippi State actually did drive-wise, they went on one good drive to start the second quarter when they took a 14-10 lead. They kind of went down your throat there, 15 plays, 75 yards, 5.5 minutes. But that was really their only touchdown drive. Their other touchdown drives, according to ESPN, 5 plays, 20 yards after a muff punt. 4 plays, 26 yards after an interception. 5 plays, 17 yards after an interception. So, like, I thought the defense did more than their fair share.
You gave up 34 points, and you're right. I mean, it's fair that at some points in time, you know, you're dealing with a short field
3 times,
you don't.
3 of their 4 touchdown drives were short fields.
Yeah, and so you don't want to put all that on the defense, but you still, I thought, gave up a lot in the run game. I thought Mississippi State was doing to us in the run game what we should have been doing to them, is how it felt for a good majority of the game to me.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell, you could say that for sure. Like, the run game, that was a bit of a disappointment.
I mean,
57 carries, 198 yards.
You let Fluff Bothwell have his way with you. Now, you didn't let the quarterback beat you. You know, Shapen didn't do anything too serious, but I didn't like what we were allowed on the ground. I didn't like our tackling. And I don't get it, because I love our linebackers, and my friend, they kept saying to me, "Oh, our linebackers suck. Our linebackers suck." I'm like, well, yeah, but these guys are supposed to be pretty good players. You know, I don't know why we couldn't fare better in the run game.
I saw a lot of people criticizing Tim Banks online. I just you score 14 points yourself. You're dealing with a short field. You get the stop in overtime. I'll call it a B+ performance and move on. Like, do I want to give up 134 yards and 2 touchdowns to a guy named Fluff Bothwell? No, I don't. But you created some turnovers when you needed them. And then you got the goal line stand. I was a little bit more frustrated with Tennessee's, not even their offense, just Josh Heupel. I thought it was a poorly coached game by Josh Heupel, but you're able to survive. Sam, your thoughts on the defense discussion, the defense argument?
Yeah, I mean, I think that maybe like a game as a whole, it wasn't the most consistent performance, but whenever you called upon that defense to go make a big play, they were doing it. And I do think that even for that short stretch that Cody was kind of talking about where it felt like they were gashing you in the run game, I think the biggest kind of difference maker in this game, you had 11 TFLs in this one. And I think you were able to create enough negative plays that it kind of counteracted and balanced out some of those bigger, 7-8 yard runs that it felt like they were being able to kind of consistently kind of stack on top of each other. But yeah, I mean, I to your point, like, I think when your defense goes out there and gets you 14 points on the road and you're starting off into some tough spots because of, some interceptions that you feel like could have been catchable balls and kept drives going and stuff like that. I think overall that defense did their job. And to me, just kind of with all the stuff that was happening in the offseason with the uncertainty at quarterback position and all the injuries that happened before the season and in camp, like the thing that I was just telling myself was get to that bye week at 4-1 and get healthy. So I think ultimately Tennessee kind of accomplished what I was hoping they would do through those first 5 games.
You are 4-1, and you are to the bye week. Bubba, your thoughts on Saturday's game?
I feel like we struggled a lot. I kind of agree with Cody. At least like eye test wise, our run defense was not that great. A couple times, which granted, the way we play in zone, couple passes there. I thought our D line though, like as a whole, feasted when it came to just pass rush. I thought they looked really good there. Offensively, some key drops aside from special teams as well. Chris Browser once again becomes the guy. And then I feel like, there's a clear-cut RB1 and RB2 for the Vols. And I only say that just because, like, in the final drives, the guy that we ended up seeing the most of, I didn't hear any injury reports, was, we saw Deshaun Bishop kind of, as the game was winding down, and then we also saw him come out there for the overtime drive.
No, Bishop looked great. Bishop looked like he took his job back. I think,
the problem is like just that they trot out every running back every other series, so it's really hard to just keep looking at these guys whenever they get, a limited amount of snaps split between all 3 of them.
No, I mean, I think a lot of the conversation had turned to Star Thomas being your best back. I think I thought that as well, and Bishop looked better on Saturday. Bishop took it personally, and as the game went on, he looked like he was fresh. He looked like the split, the load being split between him and Star. It looked like it had benefited him. Of course, highlighted by the game-winning touchdown. Going into the game, we weren't worried about their run game, really. We looked and said, they did all this through the air against Arizona State. I thought Tennessee's secondary, Cody, I would imagine you were worried about them holding up, and they did the job.
Yeah, the secondary did a good job. That was going into the game. I would have been more concerned about them beating us in the pass game than the run game. So yeah, I mean that's a plus for the defense, the way that they held up a pass defensively. But I don't like giving up 200 on the ground to Mississippi State. I mean that we'll see what that team turns out to be. Fluff Bothwell. I mean, he looked like a pretty good running back. I don't know what his future holds, but I thought he was a real problem for you. But you escape, you get out of there with a win. Defense did make some plays in critical moments. I mean, that's important.
And they ran it 57 times, though, for 200 yards.
They did.
You kept them under – it was 3.5 yards a carry. I don't think that's like a crazy bad number.
Yeah, it just felt like at times to me we were just getting pushed around up front. But all in all –
their yards per carry gets killed by the sacks. So, like, if you just look at Bothwell, their lead back, I mean, he gassed you at 5.8 yards a carry. I mean, especially without having some big, long outlier run. The box score says his long run was 20 yards. So I do think consistently they were able to do that. The sacks helped bring that average down.
Which we did know that they've got a big offensive line. That was one of the talking points for Mississippi State last week, is they got a bunch of big heavies up front, 320, 330-pound guys. So I thought they controlled the line of scrimmage against us for a good bit of the game. I'm not saying they dominated us the whole game, but I think there's a lot of room for improvement there.
Defense will get some reinforcements. I give them credit. Shout out to Colton Hood, savior of the season. I shudder to think about what this team would look like, especially, with the injuries to Ricky Gibson, and we already knew McCoy was going to be injured. Without Colton Hood out there, that was an all-time get in the transfer portal. He gets another touchdown, just a nose for the ball. Just continues to shut his guy out, take his guy out of the game on the other end, and then, find a way to get the ball in his hands and score. I thought that was really good. Tyree West, an absolute dog, a maniac. He played great. The defensive line, the havoc rate has been high, since Garner got here and Banks got here. And it just year in, year out, they find a way to take guys, really no matter who it is. And I know there's some studs there. Isaiah Campbell looks good in his snaps. He's going to be a stud. I know there's a lot of stars, when it comes to the recruiting rankings on the defensive line. It's not like they're taking necessarily a group of guys that just came in off the street. But even then, it doesn't matter who it is. Injuries or not, NFL draft picks or not, Garner's going to find a way to get those guys in the backfield blowing up plays. And I thought that they, really, really good. Joey Aguilar, another, godsend when it comes to this team. Completely an afterthought, right? Like kind of, we know his path from UCLA to here and thrown in the Nico trade or whatever you want to call it. People just hoped you could get out there and complete some passes. Not only did he go out there and complete some passes, he had to save you really in regulation. He had to take you on a drive and make some big time plays and make big fourth down throws and big throws while getting tackled, still being able to get the ball out and find receivers down the field. I thought he was awesome in the fourth quarter. And I thought your wide receivers, it was a little bit of an uneven day for them, right? You had Staley dropping the punt to start the game. That was bad. You had Mike Matthews dropping a open touchdown on a beautiful deep ball. That was bad. You had Chris Brazzell getting called for offensive pass interference on what should have been another highlight reel catch for him. That was bad. Not from Brazzell. That was bad from the officiating, but all three guys kind of had some things that would have easily had could have derailed them. Could have made them kind of shrug their shoulders, slump their shoulders, and just kind of think, well, today's not our day. But instead, all those guys made big plays on the final drive. Matthews on a big sideline catch as Aguilar was getting tackled. Brazzell, big fourth down conversion. And Staley, turning a 3rd and 3 kind of dump down short of the sticks and just putting his head down and getting, 4 yards and a first down. I thought that was a big, big time play by him. I thought all three of those guys delivered.
Yeah, you had guys making plays when it mattered. And with the game on the line, I like the way that we played. Joey's 2 picks, to me, those are both balls that you rely on a guy like Kitzelman to just catch it. You throw it. He's got great hands, and you fire a couple of them in there. The one was pretty high, it was, and then it's just 2 freak plays where they bounce off his chest and up in the air and get picked off. But I really didn't even have a problem with Joey on that. I think Kitzelman's a guy you think you can rely on to catch it, and normally he does. And you just had 2 kind of freak plays that bounced up in the air. But that hurt you because, you talk about those short fields that State had. And so that kind of kept them in the game. But you did enough, man. You got enough to get out with the win. Heupel, like you said, didn't coach a very good game. I thought that, I was irate at the end of regulation, like just that the game even went to overtime,
We'll dive into that after the break. Fire up some comments in the YouTube. We'll look at it. Stick with us. Let's talk sports on FANRUN Radio.
Can't get enough FANRUN Radio? Download the free FANRUN app and take the best Tennessee sports conversations with you wherever you go.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
With over 60 years of experience in the industry, Merritt Garage Doors has a wealth of expertise in commercial overhead doors in the East Tennessee area. Merritt offers a wide range of door styles like sectionals, rolling steel, high-speed, and sheet doors. They also supply and install a wide range of dock equipment. If your business is in need of overhead doors, no matter the type, look no further than Merritt Garage Door, Knoxville's best and most trusted overhead door company. Contact them anytime for a free estimate at 865-933-5319 or online at merrittgaragedoor.com.
Are you tired of spending hours on laundry and ironing? Let Crown Cleaners handle your dry cleaning so you can handle your business. Our expert team can take care of your clothes, removing stains and wrinkles like they were never there. Whether it's your best suit or everyday attire, we handle it all at Crown Cleaners. Say goodbye to laundry stress and hello to extra free time. Crown Cleaners, Big Orange Country's imperial dry cleaning service since the 1960s. Online at crowncleaners.com.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 865-544-8220. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at menspronaknoxville.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor. But we've helped so many guys in here just like you. Even if pills have failed, our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, performance, Peyronie's, size and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic performance and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 865-544-8220. Or book in 30 seconds or less at menspronaknoxville.com. Men's Pro Knoxville, making it happen.
Little touch high from Joey on a couple of those throws. Maybe a missed pass interference on the second one to Miles Kitzelman. Kind of look, he was getting his body turned around, and you can kind of see him getting contorted in the air and kind of throw his hands up. But Kitzelman, I think coming into the season, we hoped he was going to be kind of the leader of the team, or at least he was the leader on paper of the team. Injury kind of derailed the start of the season for him. Still waiting for him to kind of play up to those expectations. He almost cost you the game. He almost cost you the game, but Tennessee was able to overcome it in a topsy-turvy fourth quarter. I mean, the old momentum swings, the way the game was playing out, I mean, it was crazy, really, from the 5-minute mark of the third quarter on. When you look at, okay, here's a Chris Brazzell touchdown. Nope, wait, that's called back. Okay, now you're punting. All right, good stop on this fourth down. Oh, wait, fake punt. Mississippi State riding high. And then, boom, Tyree West decapitates their quarterback. Jones just picks the ball up. Wow, Tennessee's leading again. Oh, wait, here's a Joey Aguilar interception. Okay, here's a Mississippi State field goal. Oh, God, here's another interception. Now they're up 7. Now it's fourth down. Tennessee moves the ball. And then Tennessee gets the ball with about 1:40 left. And at that point, you feel like Tennessee is going to go down, get in field goal range, plenty of time, 3 timeouts, 1:30 left. And then just one of the weirder series that I've seen Josh Heupel coach.
Clock management was atrocious. I mean, it should have never gone to overtime, but It is what it is.
You get the ball with a minute 20 left. 3 timeouts, like I said. Knowing Tennessee's offense, that's not really ever any cause for concern. They were deliberate at first, waiting. You always say you want that initial first down. Don't do anything drastic till you get that initial first down. You don't want to, leave too much time. The worst thing you could do is go 3 and out, not really take any time off the clock. And then next thing you know, your defense is scrambling. Like, ideally, I think goal number 1 when you get that punt with a minute 20 left is Mississippi State doesn't touch the ball again. Like, I think that's goal number 1. Goal number 2, of course, is to win the game. Is that fair?
Well, yeah. I mean, they go hand in hand, I think. But, you want to win the game.
Sure, but the most important thing is you don't lose the game in regulation. Like,
yeah.
That's the most important thing. Like, you want to take overtime in your back pocket at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, and you have that safety net there if you have to. You didn't really have to. You could have done it in regulation. But
2nd and 1 from the 50-yard line. Or even the other side, you're on their 49, 24 seconds left, 2 timeouts. Like, that should be a situation that you are, at the very least, kicking a field goal, in my opinion. They take the deep shot to Staley, which I liked, trying to throw the walk-off touchdown. I liked that. I thought, maybe just a little bit better of a throw, but it was a great play by the defensive back. Like, it was the throw wasn't the problem, make no mistake. But if you lay it out just a little bit further, Joey's been so good at not overthrowing the deep balls. That's one you wish he just put a little bit more under, let Staley run under it versus having to slow down. But again, the defensive back made a great play. Staley didn't necessarily go high point the ball. But then you pick up the first down there on 3rd and 1, 14 seconds, 2 timeouts. And then for some reason, you don't take the timeout. You have a long, slow developing play. Joey ends up throwing it out of bounds. I get that this is built around pace. I get that this is built around rhythm on your offense. But, like, I feel like, not even saying it with hindsight, you take the timeout and you make sure Joey knows that we have to have, like, some type of quick hitter here.
Yeah, you don't want to leave timeouts in your pocket. There's no need to do that.
Definitely not 2 of them. Definitely not 2 of them.
When there was 4 seconds left and they rushed 3 people and dropped 8 guys back into coverage and you still had timeouts in your pocket, I was wanting to just throw a quick little 5-yard out or something and just have Heupel right in the ref's ear and say, hey, let's try and – like, I thought you could have run a play in 2 seconds there or 3 seconds there and been able to catch something real quick and call a timeout and be able to have a little bit better of a field goal than just try and throw the miracle Hail Mary.
You would have – that's what I wanted to in that moment, but you would have had to make sure it was executed perfectly because 4 seconds ain't much. The average football play is 6 seconds.
I just thought you had a better idea. I thought you had a better chance at completing that than –
should have never been in that position.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I thought you could have taken a timeout earlier with 13 on the clock or whatever when you had 3 in your back pocket.
Yeah. I mean, look, I know what I'm about to say. You're going to be like, oh, not really comparable. But Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce against the Bills in the AFC Championship, they were able to get from the 44 all the way down to the other 31 in 5 seconds on just one of those quick release passes that you're talking about, Sam, when they tied that game against the Bills with a timeout. I think Tennessee easily, they were given a 6-yard pass where you throw it, you get down, 3 seconds, timeout, and then all of a sudden it's a 56-yard field goal and you got a chance. Again, I know it's Patrick Mahomes. I know it's Travis Kelce. I know maybe it's not necessarily fair to compare that to Aguilar and whomever when you look, especially because that would have been Kelce and Mahomes at their peak powers. But at the same time, like I said, they went from the 44 to the 32. So that's a 24-yard catch, and they did it in 5 seconds. I definitely think there's enough time for a little quick hitter to get you like 3 or 4 yards closer at the very, very least.
A quick dump to the running back where he just basically dives down for 4 or 5 yards. I mean, something. That's what I wanted too, but I recognize that is a very small amount of time. Like I said, you shouldn't have ever been in that position, but
I mean, yeah, you didn't even really need they left the wide receivers completely wide open.
Yeah.
Like you could have easily gotten 5 yards.
They rushed 3 and had like one spy
They rushed 3 and had all their cornerbacks back at the goal line.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
it's nitpicky. It's one of those things that if you lose the game, I'm very angry about. You win the game, it's just kind of a footnote. But in the future, that's got to be something a little bit more high percentage than, basically roll out, get pressured somehow with those 3 guys, get a holding penalty, and then throw one of the worst Hail Marys ever. Like, Tennessee is lucky that he dropped that pass because the defensive back was coming up on a sprint. And if he catches that ball, Tennessee didn't have wide receivers back there. It would have been offensive lineman, Joey, and, Deshaun Bishop.
That ball's going the other way. Yeah. Be hard to cover that.
Those guys would have had to find a way to make a tackle. And, of course, that would have ruined goal number 1 and goal number 2. You would have given them the ball back and probably lost the game had he caught that on a sprint. So I thought that was really bad management.
I was hoping for a little Max Gilbert redemption kick, Couldn't beat the one Bulldogs, but he could beat these Bulldogs. That's what I kept hoping for, but he didn't get his chance.
Yeah, and giving him a chance, it would have been a 61-yard field goal. Like I was.
Well,
fine.
that would have been. Yeah, I mean,
I was fine not giving him a chance there. I mean, like that would have been a tough ask, and you risk ruining your kicker if he misses again. Like,
I meant with more yards, obviously.
Right. Well, no, there's part of me that's just, we tried that, similar against Florida in 15. I want to say against South Carolina, we tried that too, just in 16, just a really long field goal. And I wanted that over the Hail Mary because I don't think Joey's got necessarily the arm. But either way, like I said, it's a situation that if you lose, you obsess over that and you wonder what you could have done differently. You win, it's okay. You win, it's okay. And overtime, you didn't have to sweat.
Yeah, no, you made the plays you had to make in overtime. Deshaun Bishop, easy touchdown run.
It did feel really good to fix that overtime wart from the Georgia game, to get that scar out, because as we were headed to overtime, I was like, this doesn't feel good. This feels bad. And then they showed me Miles Kitzelman's dad wearing the Lady Vol blue, the Summit blue in the stands, and all of a sudden the calmness came over me. The good luck charm was there, and Deshaun Bishop takes it left tackle, 25 yards and a touchdown. And at that point, you just thought, okay, survive, get this stop.
You put the pressure on him, let him get down in inside the 10-yard line, but then that's where your defense stepped up. They did what they had to do there.
Yeah, that 2nd and 11 kind of fluky pass, like it seemed like it was going to get tipped by the screening wide receiver. I thought maybe it was a bad throw, and the next thing you know, you're at the 5-yard line. You're like, what the hell just happened? But then you bow up. They run kind of inexplicably, at least in my opinion, a couple of pass plays when I think that maybe I'm just handing the ball off 4 times there.
Give it to that damn Bothwell. That was working the whole game.
That's the way they played, I think I'm giving that. Instead, they try 3 passes. Tennessee's defense holds up. Shapen tries to get out of the pocket, can't really do anything with it. And Tennessee only gives up 1 yard and you survive. Great play by Arion Carter there at the end, diving in front of the receiver at the goal line, distracting it enough, and surviving. By the way, shout out to the crowd. Shout out to all the Tennessee fans that showed up. That stadium was half orange. They were celebrating their first sellout in a long time. and it was sold out because Tennessee fans traveled and made a difference. That was crazy to see.
Looked a lot like LSU in 22 there at the end of the game. There were a lot of shots coming out from the post-game celebration where it just looked like we had made a different stadium, our home stadium. That was nice to see.
Can they even call that a sellout when 10,000 of them are our fans?
10,000 feels low. It feels like it was 25. Just it felt like that whole side was Tennessee fans. But yeah, like it was. It's one that I would put an asterisk next to if I was their fans. I wouldn't necessarily be bragging about it. You know what I mean?
The orange did really pop in the sea of white. The whiteout they tried to do. Our people wore orange.
Mississippi State's not the 2-win team they were last year. You know, they had a big roster overhaul. They had boosters step up. They went and spent some money. I believe $15 million is the number out there in terms of what they used to kind of rebuild their roster. That's what they say in SEC circles. So, like, it's a better team. Now, with that being said, I still think when you look at their schedule and you look at the team still on their schedule, like it does still feel like a team that might kind of max out at 6-6 or 7-5. This might not be one that you look at the end of the year as some big quality win, but that doesn't tell the tale of what it was on Saturday when it was a 4-0 undefeated team.
I don't think they're going to go make a run, but I do think that, like, they're going to be a team that potentially just ruins some seasons for you. And when you're talking about, like, hey, you need this team to go lose on this week, like, I think Mississippi State turns into one of those teams that you can say, like, hey, they got a chance to go out there and beat them on the road or something like that.
Possibly. Like, I just, when I look at their schedule, Sam, they're going to be underdogs in every game. Not that really, matters. Underdogs win all the time. But at Texas A&M, at Florida, Texas.
Do they play Texas at home?
They play Texas at home, and they might get Texas. They might.
That's a slip-up spot.
There is a chance that they can play spoiler and that they are actually a good team and they could do you some solids down the road. But when I look at it, like Texas at Arkansas, like they'll, unless Petrino turns it around. But even then, Arkansas is probably going to be favored at home, unless they just completely quit, which they did, in the second half, really the second quarter. Against Notre Dame, Georgia, at Missouri, Ole Miss. That's just really, really tough. There's a lot.
They won't be a quality win, but I just think they could help you out somewhere down the line.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you could tell me they upset Missouri the second to last week. You could tell me they beat Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl at home. Sure,
they'll beat somebody. I mean, I don't think that team's going to go 4-8. They'll find a win or two in there somewhere.
At A&M. Next week, maybe they get up and they dust themselves off and go get them a top 10 team. I'll be rooting for them. I like everyone that went to Starkville said everyone was really nice. I got no beef with them. They're fans.
Do you know anyone that went to the after party?
I had people say that the Ponies parking lot was absolutely slammed. It worked.
Good for them.
Is what people.
Good for them.
They told me they didn't go in, but they said they drove by it and that it was absolutely slammed. So the promotion worked.
They had a great night, I'm sure.
I just say that about their schedule just to say this might be one of those at the end of the year you don't get credit for. It feels like if they go 6-6, that's a success for them looking at the schedule. I don't think the committee is going to be looking and saying, Tennessee went on the road and beat a 6-win team. But I'm saying that's not necessarily the truth of what happened on Saturday. I look at that as a gritty, gutsy win.
Yeah, you avoid disaster. I mean, anytime you go on the conference and win a game, you go on the road in the conference and win a game, it's, you got to be happy about it.
That team we played on Saturday was better than Arkansas last year.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say comparable, but felt that way. Felt like they were better.
Whether they get to 6 wins or they make a bowl game, whatever. But it felt like they were a better coached team. It felt like they were just better than Arkansas was last year. I thought Arkansas was just, what the hell are we doing here? What is happening here? What is happening here? Mississippi State, at least, they had some guys out there flying around. Now, Tennessee was also making mistakes. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, that was the frustrating part is just when it's not going your way and if a few plays go the other way, you did have the potential to win that game handily, and you weren't able to do that. But
and nothing really felt like it went your way except, the defense stepping up and forcing some turnovers and scoring off of them. But like even on your game tying drive, like your best lineman, or at least your second best lineman, or an important piece, whatever you want to say about Jesse Perry, he goes down. All of a sudden you're having to bring David Sanders in, which shout out to David Sanders for being available, for being out there to play, to be thrown in on that drive with the game on the line. I thought he had a couple of really nice run blocks where they kind of brought him pulling, and he was able to seal the backside, on the first play, setting up a first down. Then on the touchdown, if you look, like on the Aguilar, power sweep, he gets up to the second level and stops that linebacker from getting there.
He's fired up to play.
Yeah.
Like you saw when his name got called, he was smacking his helmet and he was like getting fired up. Mo was having him punch him in the chest and everything. Yeah. And then in that first play, they let him pull and just feel some contact.
Nice
and
block.
Stuff like that.
Nice little pull there. Yeah. He had the one penalty. I figured that was called that one last week.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get those jitters out a little bit. But he settled in pretty nice, and he's going to be a good player.
Was fired up on the touchdown, too. Was fired up on the big Staley run. Like, you like that energy. It's like I think you can put that to bed. I know a lot of fans always expect the worst. So when you're, maybe the most expensive player on your team, or at least one of the most expensive players on your team, has a weird scratch at the beginning of the year and you don't see him on the field, I think some people's mind went to, oh, God, he's transferred. Oh, God, the money's not cleared. Oh, God, he doesn't want to be here. I think when you saw him on the field, that guy looks like he is bleeding orange. It looked like he was out there pumped and bought in. So
he's balled up.
We can put that one to bed, I think.
What have you heard anything on the reason why Staley fielded the punt when we dropped the first punt? Why Boo Carter wasn't out there?
I think they probably wanted somebody sure-handed to take just like kind of a fair catch there, and save field position versus. Because it was one of those like where they were going to try to pin you deep and like, you don't want, in my opinion, you just want somebody to take a fair catch there and make sure it doesn't get over your head and bounce and pin yourself deep.
Both of Staley's returns were awful. I mean, the one where he let it bounce for 15 more yards when he could have at least picked it up on the 15-yard line and just gotten tackled.
Well, I think he was in his head about the first one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the second one's because you dropped the first one. He's like, I ain't catching that one.
And he nearly touched that damn ball accidentally. He was too close to it, like letting it bounce.
And I know they had like a lefty punter or whatever, but I don't think we should have an excuse when you've got Jackson Ross who can kick on both legs. So I'd imagine all throughout the practice that week they had him kicking lefty.
One of those weird decisions, man, that Heupel would have had to answer for had you lost, but instead it's just a footnote that you can clean up. It feels good to learn lessons in wins rather than learning lessons in defeats. That's what I always say. I'd rather learn those tough lessons and still find a way to win.
That's the important thing.
Hour one in the books. We'll kick off hour two with some headlines. Shout out to Josh and the boys. Shout out to the people that came to Barley's for the watch party. It was fun to celebrate a win. Everybody together. We'll do it again in a couple weeks. Electric atmosphere. He's watching on the chat. Shout out to him. Hour two coming at you. It's Talk Sports on FANRUN Radio.
The flagship station for Tennessee football. Fans. FANRUN Radio.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event. You need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's.
Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Got a flat tire? Strange noise under the hood? Don't stress. Roll into Matlock Tire and Auto Service. From oil changes and brake repairs to brand new tires, Matlock's certified techs do it all. Fast, friendly, and fair priced, Matlock is the home of the price match guarantee. Bring in any competitor's ad and Matlock will match the exact same tire for the exact same price. Matlock Tire and Auto Service. 5 locations in East Tennessee. Visit matlocktireservice.com to find the location nearest you and schedule your appointment.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, FANRUN Radio.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-88-99789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
Should we do the trend with him? Should we show him the trend?
Yeah. You ready?
You're listening to Talk Sports.
So we all go around the room, and it's very simple. Somebody says, give me my money, and then you cheer. You go, ah, and you just go around the room doing it. Jack, okay, you start.
Airing every day
from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Give me my money.
Yeah! You got to cheer, Cody.
Yeah!
Now my turn. I got to get my best Italian accent. Give me my money.
Yay!
Now your turn.
Give me my money. I don't like it.
On 1340 WKGN.
Yeah, let me try again. Give me my money. You're supposed to cheer. You guys said to cheer.
It actually does.
The hell is this?
It does actually make me laugh. That's
what is this?
Hour number 2, kicking off here in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. Shout out to White Claw. We appreciate them. Shout out to my boys over at Cherokee. I appreciate you. Drink the light, refreshing White Claw Hard Seltzer and drink it responsibly. Let's hit some Hour 2 headlines. What's in the news, Cody?
Thanks, John. Jay-Z runs New York, and Bobby Petrino runs Arkansas again. The Hogs fired Sam Pittman over the weekend after a disastrous performance against Notre Dame, 56-13. Boy, that one was over in a hurry. That last touchdown before the half, where Notre Dame got up 42. I don't know if I've ever seen a worse defensive effort by a defense. It was rough. Bobby Petrino takes over. Time is a flat circle. It's come full circle. Petrino immediately has begun overhauling his coaching staff, dismissing defensive coordinator Travis Williams, defensive line coach DK Adams, and defensive assistant Marcus Woodson, sources told Pete Thamel in the latest moves for Arkansas's coaching overhaul. Petrino looked at that defensive staff and said, "You're all out of here."
Yeah, I think that's fair. Usually I don't feel like the interim coach makes too many drastic changes, but I got to say the defense, everyone that's associated with that staff needs to be gone. Bobby Petrino getting the reins. I mean, it's one of those that we all made the same joke whenever Arkansas brought him back, that Pittman had brought the wolf inside the hen house.
Yep.
We knew that was ultimately going to happen, that Pittman wasn't long for the world, and that Petrino had eyes on getting his job back.
Well, the wolf has begun eating the hens.
Do we think he has a chance of winning this job?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do.
How do your friends feel about it?
They love Bobby P.
Yeah.
I think that's how a lot of the fans feel there, is that the thing they felt is that he never should have been fired. They wanted to keep Bobby around forever because that's the high point of their football program. Since, you got to go back to 1964 when they won a national championship. Like, that was their peak. They made a Sugar Bowl against Ohio State. 2011, had they not been in the same division with LSU and Alabama, they probably would have played for a national championship. They just kind of got unlucky that the three best teams in the country were in the SEC West, and they were the third best of the three. But they had a really good team that year. In a 12-team playoff, they would have been there back in the day. Petrino did, he did well at Arkansas. Ran some great offenses. So I think they're fired up to have him back at the helm. We'll see what he can do with this roster he's got. I don't expect him to do anything special this year now that he's taken over. That defense is just hot garbage, But it's relevant to us, as that will be Tennessee's next opponent after the bye week. The Hogs come in here, so Bobby P will be leading them in on his motorcycle.
How do you feel about it? They're headed to a bye week. Losers of 3 in a row. It'll be his first game as a head coach, obviously, in this go-round.
I don't know how I feel about it yet. I feel that for us, I think that their defense is so bad, not just coaching-wise, but personnel-wise.
Right.
I don't think that they have any prayer of stopping Joey in Neyland Stadium. But they're capable of scoring some points, and Bobby will dial some stuff up. Taylor Green, he's an all right little quarterback, so they're not a team that you want to. I don't think they'll be a pushover, but I would think Tennessee's a couple scores better, especially at Neyland.
Sam, Bubba, you nervous of Bobby P in Arkansas?
I'd say they have my attention more now.
Yeah, they would have been dead, with Pittman.
Yeah. I do think kind of that interim coach bump is something that always kind of gives you a little bit of worry, but like Cody said, that I don't think there's too much fixing that defense, and I think you'll be able to kind of score at will on them, and I think being able to get it back in Neyland, kind of have that revenge game factor. I think the crowd's going to become a big kind of turning point in that game, and eventually you'll be able to get the stops when you need to, but I don't think it'll be as close as Mississippi State, but I could see it being a game that you don't feel super comfortable in too.
Well, that would make me nervous if it was one that you were having to sweat out in the fourth quarter.
He's obviously making an effort to fix the defense. I don't know who he's got that he's going to try to bring in, but I think Bobby recognizes that he's not going to go into Knoxville with that defense he saw Saturday, and that's a 50-point performance from Joey coming if they give that kind of effort. So. You would expect them to maybe correct some things and try to get a little better defensively. But like I said, I don't really think they've got the personnel to do it. I think the only danger with them is their offense. And I just can't see that at Neyland. I mean, the thing that I've maintained about the Arkansas game is the comparison for me is South Carolina in 23. Like when, our guys should be motivated to win that game, bit of a revenge game. I think we'll handle business, but
they've had that one circled for sure, I feel like.
Yeah. Maybe it's a good thing to get Pittman out. He was 2-0 against us, He finished 32-34 at Arkansas, but 2 of those wins were against us. So he's out of there. Well, Penn State fell Saturday night to Oregon. They are 4-21 under James Franklin against top 10 teams. Just the latest loss to a top 10 opponent for Penn State. The crowd was great. The whiteout, it looked like a hell of an atmosphere at Penn State, but they fall short yet again as the third-ranked Nittany Lions lose in double overtime, 30-24 to Oregon. James Franklin says, "It's on me."
Now he's saying, please, we need everybody. Please show up. Please help us.
Penn State 1-18 against top 10 Big Ten teams under Franklin. 1-18.
There were fire Franklin chants, right? In the crowd, I saw people saying that in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
As they were, I think at that point only had 3 points.
Franklin says we have a passionate fan base. When we win, there's nothing better. When we lose, there's nothing worse. I get it. I get the frustration that comes with a fan base that is invested and cares.
That's the right answer if you're Franklin.
I get that narrative. He was talking about being 1-18 against top 10 Big Ten teams. He said, I get that narrative, and it's really not a narrative. It's factual. It's the facts.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you can call it a narrative. Like, it's just what it is. What do you say about it outside of it being the facts?
I try to look at the entire picture and what we've been able to do here, but at the end of the day, we got to find a way to win those games. And I take ownership. I take responsibility.
You really don't have to find a way to win those games. Like, he hasn't won any of them yet, and his job is pretty safe, despite some students chanting "Fire Franklin." Like, Penn State lives in the top 10. They don't really get punished for losing games. Like, the fact they got to stay a top 10 team after losing at home in that fashion,
you just beat up on the rest of the Big Ten and go 10-2 every year.
That's it.
Did you hear Dan Lanning's comments about the whiteout?
No, what did he say?
The whiteout.
I love cocaine.
He was in that interview.
Yeah.
Did you see him? But he said the whiteout was just a blank canvas for us to paint our masterpiece.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. He's a badass with some of those quotes, man.
The whiteout was just a blank canvas for us to paint our masterpiece. That's great. I don't know if I've ever heard a better quote.
I lost a plus 7,500 parlay because all I needed was Penn State money line, and I thought you can't lose the whiteout at night. But I liked Oregon's team better. But I just said, "Oh, come on, look at this environment." If I saw that quote pregame, I would have been all over Oregon.
My parlay that I put together that I felt so great about Friday, everything went just the way I thought. The Tennessee over hit, Ole Miss won straight up, Oregon got it done at Penn State, and all I needed was the thing that I was the surest of. And Georgia lost at home to Alabama.
Despite pitching a shutout in the second half.
Unbelievable.
Despite pitching a shutout in the second half, they still lost. That was
I got to say, I was dead wrong. I was dead wrong. I didn't see any world in which Alabama went in there and won that game after what I'd seen from them. But, credit to the Tide, I guess.
It's crazy watching them just gag on themselves after watching them make every clutch play against us to then turn around and watch them just lose their mind
against Alabama. Yeah.
Yeah. Just drop open touchdowns. Kirby bypassing the game tying field goal, which I didn't really have a problem for. It's just maybe don't give the ball to your gadget running back. Like maybe we got to, my rule of thinking there, Kirby, is that like, if you think that you have to go fast to get the first down, maybe slow down and take the points. Like, I got no issue going for fourth downs. Like, I love when Dan Campbell does it. It works with the Lions. Like, I want Josh Heupel to be more aggressive. but I don't want the fourth down decision to be, well, we have to do it this way. We have to catch them off guard because we can't just line up and get a yard. If you don't feel like you can just line up and get a yard, kick the field goal, because giving the ball to your third down back out of the backfield and watching him lose his feet on a tackle that most good running backs, like 5-star running backs, are breaking that tackle. And Georgia's got a whole bunch of those guys. Like a different running back's probably getting that first down. So that's my only critique, is like, if you think it has to be a gimmick, you think it has to be a gadget, don't do it. I don't want trick plays on fourth down.
Brooks Austin had a good point too, where he was like, the ball was at like the 7-yard line or whatever. It was just a chip shot field goal. And he was saying, like, hey, if you're going to lean on your defense and go for it on fourth, why don't you just tie the game up and lean on your defense and kick the ball away and take a 15-yard difference with a touchback versus going for it at the 7-yard line or whatever.
I was rooting for Georgia at the time. I wanted them to go for the fourth down. That's the only way I can really judge these decisions. Like, I was wanting Georgia to win. I wanted them to go for it. So I can't bash them when they don't get it. Like I said, the only thing I would say is run a better play, give the ball to better players. I want my best players deciding those fourth downs.
He also said that. He was like, that was the same play that we lost to Notre Dame in the playoff on.
Really?
Yeah.
Alabama's win over Georgia ends the longest active FBS home winning streak at 33 games. So Georgia had won since 2019.
Do you know who is that leader right now? Because I think a few of those teams lost this weekend. Like Washington, I think, was up there, and I think Iowa was too, and they both lost games at home.
Yeah, I have no idea who else is up there. Yeah, Washington, Ohio State went in and controlled them 24-6. Kalen DeBoer was 2-4 on the road heading into this game. He said the victory that his team took everything that was out there and channeled it into getting better. There's two things you can do when things are coming down on you a little bit. You can go back yourself into a corner, or you can fight. And these guys made up their minds they're going to fight. That's where it started, and it just continued to build. We got to make sure we don't forget what that chip on the shoulder was that got this momentum going. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It sounds good now, but you got to keep that energy.
How would you rank the SEC right now, Sam? Cody? Bubba? Like, what would your top 6 look like in order? Think about it and tell me after the break. Stick with us. You got any more news you need to get to?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I'm curious how you would rank the SEC. We'll talk about it after the break. Stick with us.
Streaming worldwide at FanRunRadio.com and on the free FanRun app. This is Big Orange Country's sports talk radio superstation, FanRun Radio, Knoxville.
For over 3 years, Crumble Cookies has served the Knoxville area. From Clinton Highway to Parkside Drive, even our friends out in Maryville have reached you, our fans, with the best cookies in the game. This fall, Crumble is gearing up for yet another fantastic season. Whether you're tailgating or looking for a pick-me-up after getting the kids from school, Crumble has you covered. Download the Crumble app to check out this week's rewards and features. And stop on by. Tell them FanRun sent you, but don't miss the cookies.
Rickard Ridge Barbecue, located in beautiful Cove Lake State Park. Rickard Ridge is home of the best ribs in the volunteer state. Smoked daily by pitmaster Mark Rickard. The barbecue at Rickard Ridge is mouth-watering, fall-off-the-bone delicious. Take the scenic drive up I-75 to exit 134. For directions and to look at the rest of the menu, visit Rickard Ridge online at rickardridgebbq.com.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Citizens National Bank,
Kick off this football season with a CNB Plus Perks checking account. Move downfield with free online and mobile banking. And cross the goal line with extended evening hours and Saturday banking. Banking at CNB has its perks. Find out more at cnbtn.com.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Hey, Knoxville. Surfside iced tea and vodka, made with real brewed tea, is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside, or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Hi, this is Bo Kregner from the Kregner Group at Realty Executives, and I know there's a lot of choices here in East Tennessee when it comes to choosing a realtor. Here's why the Kregner Group is different. At the Kregner Group, our motto is walking by faith, serving others. It's how I live my life. It's how I run my business. Here at the Kregner Group, we're committed to doing real estate the right way. Faith, honesty, integrity. The Kregner Group. Call me anytime at 865-742-1035 or visit my website at boknowshouses.com.
All right, who wants to go first with their SEC power rankings?
I can, I suppose.
Go for it.
I don't know how the hell to rank these teams. I guess right now at number 1, I've got Ole Miss.
Okay.
Now, this is just like a power ranking. Like, this is not me. This is based on results, right? It's not me saying.
No, I mean, I'm asking you to just who you think the best teams are. How would you rank the teams right now? You can do it however you want.
I'm just going to base it on results.
Okay.
Ole Miss is the only team that has played 3 conference games. They're 3-0. A point differential of 95 to 77 in conference play. They've been tested a couple of times and they've won all their games. I guess I go Ole Miss number 1. I'd probably go Alabama and Georgia at 2A and 2B. It's hard for me to forget what I saw from Alabama week 1, but, you have 2 convincing wins after that against teams that aren't very good, but then you go into Georgia and win. I mean, I got to give credit where it's due. I feel like you got to give Missouri some credit. Although they haven't even left the confines of their home stadium yet. They've had absolutely 0 tests. I mean, I put them at 4. Oklahoma and A&M, 5A, 5B maybe. I mean, you got to put Tennessee in there somewhere. Hell, Texas. Texas is still out there just doing their thing. I mean, they haven't even played an SEC game yet. They're supposed to have the most talented team in the country, is what everyone keeps telling me on paper. It's a brutal league, man. I mean, it looks like, if you look at the standings right now, top to bottom, it looks like SEC baseball. You got 10 ranked teams. I don't know if I'd even have Tennessee in my top 6 if we're talking just results on the field. So I guess that's what, if you just want me to answer your question, I'll go Ole Miss, Alabama, Georgia, Missouri, Oklahoma, A&M.
Sam, Bubba?
I've got Alabama, Ole Miss.
So Alabama did enough that game to make you think they're back to being number 1?
Yeah, I said it in my podcast as well that I thought the winner of Alabama and Georgia would get that top spot in the conference. So
Southeastern Conversation right here where you get your FANRUN podcast. Give Sam a listen. He talks SEC, 3 times a week? Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. about 30 minutes. But yeah, I kind of said I thought if Georgia wins that one, they'll just continue to be kind of the cream of the crop. And if Bama wins that, I'm going to assume Ty Simpson kind of played a pretty good game and they've kind of got things rolling. So I got to stay consistent with that. So I've got Bama 1, Ole Miss 2, Georgia 3, Tennessee 4, Missouri 5, and A&M 6.
Run that through me one more time. Sorry.
Alabama,
Okay.
Ole Miss, Georgia, Tennessee, Missouri, and Texas A&M.
Bubba, did you do the exercise?
I did, and I was trying to type it out, but then I lost track of it. But anyways, kind of similar for a lot of people who are like Cody's. I'm going to do Ole Miss at 1, Bama at 2, Georgia at 3. At 4, I'm going to go ahead and put Oklahoma, and then at 5, I'm going to put Texas A&M.
Sam, I was adjusting my sound, and I accidentally turned it down when you did your number 3. Who was your number 3?
Georgia.
Okay, so nobody has Tennessee in the top 5.
No, I've got them at 4 in mine.
You have them where?
4.
Oh, so you have them in the top 5. Okay. Clean my ears out. Cody and Bubba don't have Tennessee in the top 5. Sam's got him at number 4. It's a cluster at the top. It really truly is. This race is for the conference is going to be jumbled up. Cody, when you see you called it the baseball rankings. When you see that, do you all of a sudden get worried about the idea that you're a lock at 10-2? Because
yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I think this year's different than last year. And I keep going back to our conversation last year when we were talking about like the depth of the SEC versus the depth of the Big Ten. To me, this year, it's really on display with all these SEC teams being ranked like this. And some of this will sort itself out. Like there's going to be some teams that fall apart or whatever. Like I don't believe in LSU long term. I don't think they've got an offense that can really compete in the conference.
Are you giving Ole Miss too much credit for beating them at home then?
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know. But Ole Miss has got 3 conference wins.
They do, but they're Kentucky and Arkansas.
Right. It's Kentucky and Arkansas. I get that. But I mean, I think LSU is a good team.
And hell, I think Kentucky played their best game of the season against them.
I think LSU is a good team. I don't think they're as good as these other teams.
Okay.
And I also think like, hey, let's hold off a little on Oklahoma and A&M. A&M's got a nice win at Notre Dame. That's a nice win because I think that Notre Dame team is very, very good. Now they've beaten up on Arkansas and Purdue 2 straight weeks, but they weren't overly impressive against Auburn, and neither was Oklahoma.
No, but Notre Dame comes out of the weekend feeling like, oh, man, here they go. They're going 10-2.
Here they go.
That offense looks pretty good. Freeman will get the defense right, and they'll run the table and be 10-2.
So A&M's got a nice win. I mean, you go to South Bend and win. You got to give them credit for that. It's really hard for me to say right now. I mean, because I believe in Tennessee. Like, I believe in our schedule, and I believe in us being able to win every home game. And I believe that I don't think we have to be scared of big bad Florida anymore. I've come around on that. I don't think I mean, based on what I've seen on the field, that looks like a win. Should be. So, like, it kind of comes down to the Alabama game, maybe, for Tennessee. I believe we're right there in the mix, but it's hard for me to say right now that I'd put us in the top 5 based on the results.
I don't know if I'd have Tennessee in the top 5 or not. I think I would, but also like I think Tennessee isn't a finished product by any means yet. That's what I keep talking about with Tennessee getting reinforcements as the season goes along.
It is alarming that we've given up 145 points this season.
Is there a single finished product around the conference that you've seen, though?
No, but what I mean by that is just like we're getting good players back is what I mean. Like I think Tennessee's offensive line is going to go up a level now that David Sanders is back. I think, Sam, when Jahmyr McCoy gets back, like I think that completely changes the dynamic of Tennessee's defense when you get Jahmyr McCoy back. Like
We need him.
If he comes back and is 90, 85% of what he was last year, like Tennessee should have, I mean, from what I've seen, one of, if not the best cornerback duo in the country. And I just think that changes everything. Like the strain on Tennessee's safeties, who I still think aren't very good. I don't think the linebackers are necessarily good in coverage, or at least like great in coverage by any means. But I think if you can use all those assets to fix the middle of the field, like if all of a sudden, like, hey, our front four, and especially when we send a fifth guy, they usually maybe they don't get home, but they disrupt. The front five is what I'll call them. The front five can wreak havoc. So if you tell me I can put McCoy and Hood out there as two other guys, then I got four guys that need to like patrol the middle of the field. A couple safeties, a star and a linebacker. Like, hey, let's do that. Like, I think that changes things. So, like when I say we're not a finished product, you are right that everyone deserves the chance to get better. I just don't know of anybody that's getting an All-American.
Yeah, you feel a lot comfortable about your man-to-man coverage too.
Yeah, no, I mean it allows you to put those guys out on islands, like I said. Like both those guys should be able to play man-to-man, which allows you to double team guys in the middle of the field.
It does absolutely change your defense, getting McCoy back, and you need it as soon as possible, because I just look at the point totals here. The only team that's allowed more points this year on defense is Arkansas. We've allowed the most in conference play.
We've allowed the most in conference play. Okay,
yeah.
So because we've given up
which not everybody's played the same number of games, so
right?
That's important. Arkansas's only played one conference game, so But we've allowed 78 points.
You're really hung up on the defense. You're really worried about the defense.
I just think when you go back to like all these other teams around the conference, like Ole Miss leading the way. I know that they had a nice win this week, but coming into this one, they're just lucky to play an LSU team who has no idea how to run the ball. They're giving up 200 yards a game rushing the football. Missouri, to Cody's point, hasn't played outside of their home environment. Vanderbilt's bound to mess up at some point. Oklahoma has a hurt quarterback. Texas A&M, we feel like they always wither down the stretch. Alabama feels like the closest thing to a finished product right now with Ty Simpson playing better. Georgia's not really what they seem to be. LSU, Garrett Nussmeier's hurt. Texas, Arch Manning, we don't know if he's anything.
Texas and Penn State hanging out in the club that through the first month of the season still hasn't beaten a Power 4 opponent.
I think there's plenty of things to be worried about with Tennessee, but I think you've also shown the most like flash and potential on paper. And to your point about getting those guys back, I think your defense really improves once you get McCoy and Hobbs back.
I think McCoy especially. I mean, but I think you really need him. You really need that to happen soon.
I think I'm at a 3 with Tennessee. 3 is in terms of that's where I would have Tennessee in the conference. I think I'd have them at 3 right now. It does seem tough to rank them ahead of Georgia after Georgia beat them. So maybe I have to put them at 4 like you did, Sam. I'm just not sure about Alabama. Like I don't know where to rank them. It was a good win, but like it also, I don't want to call it a fluke win because a win's a win, especially in Athens. Like to be the first team to go down there and win for the first time in 6 years, like that's worth celebrating. But I think, can it not just be a little misleading in the sense of like, hey, they just maybe own, like DeBoer maybe just owns Kirby and Kirby just can't beat them. And like, I feel like if they played again on Saturday, I'd still take Georgia. That might be dumb, seeing how we just watched them win.
No, I would take Georgia every time.
Yeah.
I don't think DeBoer owns Kirby. Alabama owns Kirby.
Well, DeBoer's 7-0 against Kirby and Lanning and Sark. He owns those 3 guys for sure.
He's won 2 against Kirby now, so.
I just don't think I'm ready to jump, and I don't think I'm ready to jump and crown either Alabama or Ole Miss. But I do understand like results on the field matter, and like LSU got dominated by Ole Miss, it felt like, for a lot of that game, at least physically. And like, that's an Ole Miss team that's winning the last couple of years just with physicality. It's not the same type of Lane Kiffin team. And I understand that Alabama did beat Georgia, so I can't really rank Georgia ahead of them. I get all that.
Well, and everybody
it just confuses everything else, though.
The confusing thing is that everybody else has quality wins over, like, Oklahoma had a big national stage to beat Michigan. Texas A&M beat Notre Dame. Like, you give credit for those games too, and those teams are undefeated. So that's why Oklahoma and A&M are getting grouped into that category. Do I trust Oklahoma and A&M long term this season? I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't think so. Like, I think Tennessee should be better than those teams.
Yeah, that's kind of, I was hoping you would rank them in terms of what you thought, not just the results. I could go through the standings and look at who's got 0 and who's got 1 next to them. But, like, Tennessee not – the
games, too.
So what?
Well, I'm trying to take more into account than just the record. I mean, if I was just doing the record, I'd have Vanderbilt in there, too, and I'd have Missouri at number 2,
Where'd you have Missouri at?
Number 4.
Like, why is Missouri at number 4? If you're taking the games
because
into
I'm
account,
taking the record into account, but I'm also taking the games into account. The eye test. I'm trying to take it all into account.
Right. I'm asking, like, when Missouri, like, really impressed you?
Well, just the way they've been winning. I mean, against South Carolina and Kansas, but those aren't teams that you really, you know what I mean? They haven't left their home stadium yet. So I don't believe in Missouri being long for the top of the standings.
You have more confidence in them than Tennessee?
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's why I was.
But I like their quarterback and their running back.
Why you ranked them ahead of Tennessee then? It was
because of the games. That, I mean, they're 5-0.
I wish we'd have got to play South Carolina instead of.
I think
Georgia.
I think we'd be 5-0 too if we had played Central Arkansas, Kansas, Louisiana, South Carolina, and UMass.
Yeah,
I think we would be.
Yeah,
and I think Joey would look just as good as this Perbula, probably better. But they got that running back too, Ahmad Hardy. He's a nice player. They're about to play Alabama, so they'll get a nice test. But it is in their home stadium.
Great job working the schedule by them. They even got a perfect bye week right before. They haven't had to leave the state, and now they get a bye week before Alabama.
Well, yeah, and their road games are Auburn and Vandy, which I get, Vandy's not a slouch this year or anything. And then Arkansas is another one of their road games. That's a nice schedule for Missouri.
Yeah, no, they are. Like, when you just look at the computers that are spitting out, like when you take the schedule into account, like the FPI percentage or whatever, or maybe it was Bill Connelly's SP plus in terms of SEC championship probability. Top 2 teams right now, Ole Miss, who's 3-0 and, of course, got a little bit of a head start, and Missouri. Missouri has the second best chance to win the SEC, and I think it's because, their road games, like you said, Auburn, Vandy, Oklahoma, and Arkansas.
Well, they avoid Georgia and Tennessee, but they do have to play A&M, Oklahoma, Vandy, Bama, so, and Mississippi State.
Alabama, their next 3 games. Vandy, at Missouri, Tennessee. What's the record?
Probably 2-1.
You think they're 2-1?
Probably.
Bubba, Vandy, at Missouri, Tennessee. Alabama's record is
3-0.
Sam?
I'll go 2-1.
Sam, you or Cody, you want to put a name to who the one is?
Nope.
More likely they lose at Missouri or home to Tennessee?
We're better than Missouri. I mean, we're better than Missouri. That
I'm going to say Missouri
ahead of
just
us,
because of the
power rankings.
I think that Missouri
matter.
spot is kind of a little bit of a trap spot for Alabama, just because they have that emotional game against Vanderbilt this week, and then I think you might be looking ahead a little bit to the third Saturday in October with Tennessee, and I just think Missouri's a good enough team that Ahmad Hardy could potentially go run all over you.
So you think Missouri's more of a trap game than Vandy for them at home? Like, I know there's the revenge factor, but I would say, Sam, that the emotional high of beating Georgia, going back home before you head to an undefeated Missouri, I would say Vandy's probably more of an actual trap spot, more of a letdown spot. But again, it's at home and it is a revenge game. But
do we
Kalen
think
DeBoer should hang up the whistle if he loses to Vanderbilt back-to-back?
There is that.
I just think there's like they're going to shove Vanderbilt in a locker.
Yeah, there is that. If they had beaten Vanderbilt last year, I think this makes it much more of a trap game. But the fact that Vanderbilt beat them last year, carried the goalposts down Broadway, like I would say that probably left a bad taste in their mouth.
Do we think Alabama's going to kick Vandy's ass?
Yeah.
Sam does.
Like pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty
Diego probably is going to leave the game hurt.
What's the early line on that game?
9.5, which honestly seems low to me.
I didn't really like Vandy's. Didn't like how they looked against Utah State. That wasn't overly impressive. That's the thing with them being undefeated is even in some of these wins, you still see old Vandy creep in every now and then.
Would we be talking about Vandy in the same light if Lenore Sellers didn't get hurt in that game? Because it was 7-7 at halftime, or it was 14-7 at halftime. It's not like it was away from them.
I don't think South Carolina's very good. Like I still think they probably would have won that game, but I do think the score got a little bit more lopsided.
Yeah, and then, they got credit in week 2 for going and blasting Virginia Tech, too, and that's a team that fired their coach and clearly was ready to move on from their situation. So
I look at what they've done so far, I mean, not to keep belaboring the point, but I look at what they've done so far to be more impressive than what Missouri's done, though. Just like who they've beaten and the way they've beaten them.
Yeah, I think part of it with Missouri is just people really like the quarterback and the running back. Both teams have beaten South Carolina. Vandy beat them, much more impressively.
I think we're about to see Vandy play 4 really good defenses
and be 5-4.
Alabama, LSU, Missouri, and Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the thing with both Vandy and Mississippi State and those schools. Like it's in most years you'd look and say, this is an 8-4 season. Good job. But this you look and you're off to these hot starts, and then you look around and it's still like, oh my God, like we're still gonna maybe not struggle to make a bowl game in Vanderbilt's situation, but like struggle to get much better than 7-5. Like 7-5 is still a big accomplishment for them. Unless they go into Alabama and win. Is this the biggest game in Vanderbilt football history, or at least like the last 50 years? Feels like it, right?
I can't tell you when Vanderbilt's gone on the road and gotten College game day for somebody.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah,
it's Alabama Vanderbilt.
Okay, then yeah, I think it's the biggest game. I won't say of all time for Vanderbilt, but like
this is so stupid. Alabama should beat them by like 30 points.
Yeah, they should.
That should be what's coming. But Kalen DeBoer, he just got the best win of your tenure, and you immediately got to follow that up against Vandy, who's slightly dangerous. But on paper, I don't know what to think about this game. That's a confusing game to me because I feel like Alabama's going to kick their ass. But then I'm like, well, same situation last year, right? DeBoer beat Georgia and immediately followed it up with a loss to Vandy.
Just the scenarios in it are hilarious. Like you're going to have College game day come to town because an undefeated Vanderbilt is your opponent. And Kalen DeBoer's future almost is in the balance here where it's like, hey, you got that huge win against Georgia, but if you go and lose to Vanderbilt back-to-back, you're back to where you started.
It was a different way. It was a different, game flow in the way it worked out, but it was similar to last year where they dominated the first half against Alabama and then almost they should have or against Georgia, and then should have gagged it. They hold on.
Almost every result in this game is hilarious. Either DeBoer and Alabama fans are going to be absolutely distraught again, or it's going to be Vandy just coming back to reality, getting beaten 55-7. I guess if it's just a good close game, like Vandy comes out of that feeling good. Like if Bama beats them 31-24 or something, then you don't really laugh at them. But I don't know what.
Will Bama fans feel satisfied with this game with any result other than just beating the hell out of them?
No.
Like a Vanderbilt covering that spread. They lose by less than 10 points. I don't think Bama fans are going to be happy one bit.
I don't think they would either.
Let's go to break. Let's talk sports on FANRUN Radio.
Can't get enough FANRUN Radio? Download the free FANRUN app and take the best Tennessee sports conversations with you wherever you go.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your home exterior needs. If your home needs new siding, windows, doors, gutters, handrails, a deck, or a new roof, then give my friends at North Knox Siding and Windows a call at 865-689-0505. You can also visit their showroom at 5618 North Broadway. Locally owned and operated and proudly serving all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas, North Knox Siding and Windows. Online at northknoxsidingandwindows.com.
Today, we raise a glass of Jameson Irish whiskey to the sport of football. Hear, hear!
To Gaelic football, born in Ireland in 1885 in its thrilling blend of soccer, rugby and basketball. On a massive field, 15 players kick or hand pass a round ball to score points over a bar or into a net. No pads, no helmet, no sense.
Hear, hear!
To college football, which kicked off in 1869 when Rutgers beat Princeton 6-4 in the Battle of New Jersey. With 11 players and helmets and pads, teams battle on a 100-yard gridiron with explosive pass plays and hard-hitting tackles. Unless you're called for targeting.
Hear, hear! Since 1780, Jameson Irish whiskey has been enjoyed by sports fans all around the globe. Whether your football is Gaelic, American, or even soccer, we can all agree on super smooth Jameson Irish whiskey. Hear, hear!
Hey, folks, if you're in need of a lawyer, you need to call my friend Jerry Givens. I've known Jerry since high school and can personally vouch for him. He's East Tennessee through and through, and if you're going through a divorce, bankruptcy, or a DUI case, you'll need someone you can trust on your side to help you navigate the local legal system. You can trust Jerry Givens. Call the law offices of Jerry Givens today at 865-801-9250 to schedule your free consultation. That's 801-9250.
Friday Night Lights are back, and that means so is the SM Athletics Friday Night Scoreboard Show. Join me, Tim Hill, a.k.a. Vols Tim 85, and my crew every Friday night starting at 9:30 p.m. Live action, live calls, and all of the biggest talking points in East Tennessee high school football. It's the Friday Night Scoreboard Show presented by SM Athletics right here on FANRUN Radio, 1340 AM, the free FANRUN app, and streaming live on YouTube on FANRUN TV.
Let's head over to the chat. Let's catch up with the freaks. Let's see how they feel. Oh, God, we got a Vanderbilt fan in here acting like they're going to be a problem for Alabama. Okay, let's see. I'm guessing your Ravens aren't in the top 5 anymore. I took the Ravens out of the top 5 last week. Not sure. Just for the record. Freaky not sure, which doesn't really flow off the tongue there. But I took the Ravens out of my top 5 last week. Thank you very much. What a disaster that was for them. Just absolutely annihilated by the Chiefs. Lamar Jackson left the game injured. Was he okay? Like, was that just kind of like, hey, it's not our day, we're getting our ass beat? Because he was out there, then all of a sudden they were down 17, then he wasn't out there. All of a sudden it was Cooper Rush.
Yes, it says some kind of hammy injury. See if we got an update here.
Frankie Frank writes in, Joey Aguilar is better than Hendon Hooker. No disrespect.
Wow. Okay. That's a take.
Is that disrespectful?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's disrespectful. I don't know if I agree with it or not yet.
Bubba, who you taking, Hendon Hooker or Joey Aguilar?
Hendon.
Sam?
Probably Hendon with the sample size that I've got so far.
You can't throw Hendo Cinco out with the bathwater when he beat Alabama. He won his big home game.
I don't think we lost because of Joey.
No, we didn't lose because of Joey, but
I mean,
similar kind of games, though.
Well, the difference
shootouts.
is, well, I mean, but the difference is one kicker made one and the other kicker missed.
Well, yeah.
It's not really fair to point.
If you boil it down to that, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not really fair to point to the quarterbacks and say, one won, one didn't.
I know, but
the
part
kicker,
of that,
kicker missed, kicker made.
But part of that, the reason I say that is because that memory you have with Hendon, you don't have that with Joey yet. You might get it. Joey might go on the road and beat Alabama, and that might solidify his spot.
We're not asking who makes you feel warmer and fuzzier inside and who gave you a better
Hendon.
night. We're just talking about who's a better quarterback. And I don't think it's fair to say, well, one beat Alabama, one lost to Georgia. Yeah, because the kicker missed one, kicker made one.
I know, but the warm and fuzzies you get, that's part of why you love Hendon.
Just to play devil's advocate, though, if you do want to bring into the fact that Joey Aguilar has spent 5 months on this campus maybe, and Hendon Hooker had an entire year before he went and had his magical season.
I don't think you have to play devil's advocate. I'd say that if you put the poll out right now, I mean, it would probably still come back Hendon because of the warm and fuzzies like Cody's talking about, but I don't think it'd be some blowout. I think it'd be like 65-35.
You get some recency bias.
Now, on the other hand, along those same lines, go ahead and lock me in Chris Brazzell over Jalen Hyatt.
Oh, yeah.
But Jalen Hyatt had 5 touchdowns against Alabama.
He did.
He was a speed freak.
He was. Not going to go all the way and call him a busted coverage merchant, but I'm saying I'm not saying that.
Oh, you just said it.
No, I said I'm not saying it.
I know you said you're not, but then you used the term.
But I will say that I feel much more confident with Chris Brazzell across the middle of the field. Chris Brazzell making that catch in traffic on 4th down. I don't think Jalen Hyatt's going up making that catch on 4th down.
If you had, if you put the Tennessee offensive staff under True Serum, I think they'd tell you that they like Brazzell much more than Jalen Hyatt.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would say so. I don't think you'd have to take Truth Serum. I think you just have to be hey, come on, we're off the record here. Because they're not even obligated to have to lie. They shouldn't feel obligated to lie to protect Hyatt, but just be hey, Brazzell, this guy, he's bigger, he's fat, he's bigger, stronger, not faster, bigger, stronger. Can run all the routes.
But the memories. What about the memories?
I mean, the one game against Alabama was really cool. What other memories really stand out?
Yeah, there was that catch against LSU.
Okay, Brazzell had his share of memories against Georgia and just put another one up on Mississippi State. I think Brazzell's got a chance to catch up. Brazzell, big catch against Alabama last year.
Look, I'm on board with both these guys, Brazzell and Joey. Do you take the combo? You taking Brazzell and Joey over Hendon and Hyatt? I just don't want to dismiss those guys, because we're 5 games into the season and beat Mississippi State. I don't want to dismiss. I don't want to be dismissive.
On this current pace, Chris Brazzell is outpacing Hyatt's 22 in both yards and touchdowns.
And he also got robbed of 60 yards and a touchdown. That pass interference call.
That was ridiculous.
Egregious.
Horrific.
And Colton Hoods.
Listener Mikey was there, and it was a little annoying.
I wanted to throw a brick through the window.
It was a little annoying. At one point, I had to just remove myself and walk to the other end of Barley's because people were watching on their phone. And it was a little bit ahead because I guess we were streaming. So, people were 6 seconds ahead. And at one point, Mikey was oh, touchdown, Brazzell, we're back in the lead. And then, it comes on the TV. And then he's wait, no, there's a flag. And at that point, I was really? And then Zach, who's helping us with some video stuff here, a nice new addition at FANRUN. He's doing a thing where he's I'd throw to Mike Matthews here. And the next thing you know, Mike Matthews 15-yard catch. I'm he's looking on his phone. He's looking at the app. He's trying to see it. people, it wasn't so much that we were streaming as much as I think people are getting alerts on their phone, like that damn Apple News, that damn Apple Score. People get notifications. It's like touchdown, first down. So
that would have been pretty annoying.
Well, during that last drive, I just walked to the other end of the bar. I just walked down there.
Just go sit in your car and turn the radio on.
I went there. I wanted to watch TV without any spoilers. I wanted to live that last drive because I caught myself like watching people react.
Yeah.
Trying to see if there was a fist pump, trying to see if there was them hanging their head. So I just walked to the other end of the bar. Cody, known varsity athlete, doesn't know ball. I don't know what that's from, but Freaky Chase said that.
Did you deem it necessary to read that 2 hours later? Is it just... people are talking about... It was like at the start of the show when I said the defense is
people were talking about how
right
bad the take was about your defense.
Well, that's fine, man. If you think that defense is good right now, then...
3 of Mississippi State's 4 touchdown drives were 30 yards or less. You're insane to blame Tim Banks.
If that's how...
Roast that man, John.
Oh, yeah. King Roaster over here. If that's how you guys feel right now, I don't feel that the defense is all that good right now. That's that's how I feel right now. I think getting Jamad McCoy back will make a massive difference. Like, we're in agreement on that. I think it's still got the potential to be a good defense, but you can't look at the numbers. The numbers are the numbers. I mean, you look at the numbers statistically. We've been the worst scoring defense in the SEC besides Arkansas.
You can't think about scoring defense.
You can.
No, you have to take a context.
I understand it's not 2006. You're not going to give up 10 points a game. Like, I'll allow for 21 to 24, but right now we're giving up 29 a game.
Well, if you're giving up 29 but scoring in the 40s, like, where's Tennessee's scoring offense? Like, it's about points per possession. It's about efficiency.
I hear you.
You can't just look at the overall point totals. If your team plays faster.
But I want to get better defensively. I don't think you have a defense out there right now that can be championship level. I don't think we're top level right now because I don't think the defense is quite where it needs to be. I give them credit for making plays. Like, I like the guys on the defense. I
don't think you did give them credit. You called them bums basically when they came in today.
I did not call them bums.
Basically.
I did not say that.
Tim Banks
I'm
sucks.
sorry it's not all
sucks.
sunshine and rainbows, I mean, if the freaks need to be coddled, then we'll coddle them,
I mean,
you ask my opinion, I give you my opinion.
Yeah. Don't think the defense is because people
right
said it was a terrible take. Like, you don't have to be upset about it.
I'm defending what I said because you brought it up 2 hours later.
I was going through the comments.
To pick a fight.
Nope.
That's what you do.
It was called reading comments.
Well, that's very selective. When there's
I started with the damn
Ravens.
Comments. I was just going through the top. I was working my way down.
That's quite selective.
Arizona State, says Jeff, should be ranked in the top 25.
Oh,
Wait,
yes.
no. Arizona State shouldn't be ranked in the top 25. Says Mississippi State should be ranked, which I tend to agree. I don't understand, Jeff, how they would have Arizona State ranked ahead of Mississippi State. They both got one loss. They got a head-to-head result. Well, I mean, just objectively speaking, scoring 2 touchdowns and not.
It's great.
Not giving up long. I mean, you only give up one long touchdown drive. I mean, it's pretty damn good.
Okay, the defense is great. It's settled.
You heard his feelings.
We have a great
Chad.
defense.
You heard his feelings.
We have a great defense.
You heard his feelings.
National championship good.
You see what you've done.
I'm
even
just saying, like,
bad guy chat because I just read your chats.
I'm not even, I'm just, I feel like if you watch us play defensively and you don't see that we got a few holes here and there, that maybe you're not watching close enough. That's all I'm saying. It's my opinion, not yours.
Yeah.
You guys can have your own opinions.
Yeah. People just said
I think right now we kind of got problems on defense. That's what I'll say. That's what I think.
Hour 2 in the books. Got another batch of headlines coming for you at the top of the hour. Stick with us.
Check out our new and improved website at FANRUNradio.com.
Hi, I'm Jessica Lodgen, one of the hygienists here at Knoxville Smiles. If your children are having sleep or behavioral issues, we have things we can do in modern dentistry that can help not just with their dental health, but also their overall health. Early intervention is the key for younger patients and can avoid costly procedures later in life. If you'd like to learn more, give us a call here at the office and schedule an appointment. 865-539-1776. Or just book online at KNOXVILLESmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Attention service members and veterans. Introducing the Griffin Law Firm, your trusted ally in military legal matters. From court-martials to benefit claims, at Griffin Law, your mission is their mission. Here's VFL Marshall Griffin.
As a veteran and retired military attorney, I've successfully defended lifelong benefits and helped preserve professional futures. So I know that when you hire a military justice lawyer, you maximize your chance to get relief. With my unique experience, I can advocate for you because there's no military matter that's too big or too small. Let us help you make these critical decisions that could affect the rest of your life. Remain silent. Request counsel. Call Griffin Law.
For a free consultation, call 888-707-4282. That's 888-707-4282. Or just visit griffinlawdefense.com.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, FANRUN Radio.
In a world filled with deadlines and screens, sometimes we forget the simple joys of life, days filled with special moments. At Inward Half, we understand the essence of these moments. Feel the difference between our breathable fabrics and flexible apparel as you disconnect from the hustle and bustle and reconnect with what truly matters. Inward Half, simple luxury for on and off the course.
Whether you are buying or selling a home or even looking for some land to build on and start a family, be sure to give Reed Emerson with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Heritage Group a shout. He is a longtime listener and supporter of FANRUN and has been serving the Mid-State for many years. Reed prides himself on his hassle-free and honest approach, and that's because he's not just chasing another commission. He wants what is best for his clients. Give Reed Emerson a call or text him today to get the process started. His number is 931-492-0418, or you can find him online at bhgheritagegroup.com.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Round 3.
The world's greatest radio show. The world's greatest radio show in Tennessee.
Power Rankings, Tuesday Trivia. John, Reed, and Cody going wild. No Olivia. Wood grain on my leather seats. I got the whole team eating like I'm Johnny Eats. Morning booming from 7 to 10. Ay. Talk sports while I'm chewing a Zen. Ay. Talk sports while I'm riding to work. All the ops take a ride in a hearse. East Knoxville. Ay. Morning booming from 7 to 10. Ay. Morning booming from 7 to 10. Ay. Morning booming from 7 to 10. All the ops take a ride in a hearse.
Hour number 3 kicking off here in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. Let's get another batch of headlines.
3.0.
Give me some news.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
Ole Miss jumps 9 spots in the AP poll, all the way up to number 4 in the country after their win over LSU. They were a big, big jumper. Alabama also jumps back into the top 10. Oregon jumps. Penn State falls. Yeah, you know how it is. Results, things happen, games happen, teams win, teams lose. Georgia all the way down to number 12. Tennessee stays at number 15. Feel like we've been ranked 15th for about a month now. They don't want to move us up, but they don't want to move us down.
You surprised that we didn't move up at all?
Yeah, I thought maybe we would have moved up a spot or two with some teams ahead of us losing, but I guess nobody really lost like to anybody bad, right? Like you knew that Georgia was not going to fall below us. You knew that Penn State was not going to fall below us.
Georgia falling 7 spots, but Penn State only falling 4 seems like just crazy to me.
It's almost like there's a Midwest bias. I don't know, though. It's hard to say that when you got 10 SEC teams ranked. So,
Sam, 15, too high, too low, just right?
Yeah, I would have you ranked probably at like, looking at this poll, like probably 13. I'd have you ranked over LSU and Iowa State, I'd say.
Iowa State's undefeated. So, like, I understand them not being ranked below us, but, like, I think we'd beat the brakes off Iowa State. Like, I think we'd beat the absolute hell out of Iowa State.
What about LSU?
I think we'd beat LSU, but it would be, like, I wouldn't feel confident going into Baton Rouge. You know what I mean? Like, if it was a neutral site, I think it'd be a good game. Like, I won't say we'd beat the brakes off of them, but I think we'd win.
Iowa State only beat Butch Jones by 8 points.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think we'd beat the hell out of Iowa State. Like,
only beating Arkansas State by 8 that's bad.
And you only scored 24 points doing it too.
But I gotta say, just to be fair and be unbiased as possible, like I don't really have a problem with any of the other teams ranked ahead of Tennessee. So like I don't feel like
Texas. That's preseason. That's just a preseason ranking.
It's preseason and it's star talent and expectations, all those things. But at the same time, Sam, I don't think it's fair to necessarily punish Texas so much for losing to Ohio State at Ohio State. You know what I mean? Like, same way I don't think it's fair to punish us too much for losing to Georgia. We lost at home. They lost on the road. Now, do we have better wins than them? Yes. But, like,
they ain't beat nobody.
That's just more like my inherent problem with the AP poll of like using the preseason poll as such a factor when you get into week 6 and 7 and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it makes a difference in how teams are perceived.
Right.
Like,
just let Texas, if they are the team that has all this star talent and has the ability to go out there and be a top 5 team, like eventually they'll show it once they play better teams. But right now, what's their best win? Sam Houston State.
And that's 100% fair. So if you want to throw Texas in there too, what I really meant when I said I didn't have a problem with any of the teams ranked ahead of us is that, like, Iowa State's the only one I look at, and I feel confident Tennessee would, dominate.
Drum them.
What about Texas Tech?
I don't.
That's a good team.
Yeah, like I think Texas Tech's pretty good. Like, I think that'd be a war. Like, I wouldn't if they were coming to Neyland this weekend, I would be pretty nervous. If we were headed to Lubbock, I'd be pretty nervous. Like, I think that's a good team. Indiana, I'd be afraid to play them this year. Like, I think we'd beat Penn State. But like I said, I don't have a huge problem with any teams ranked ahead of us. I think they're all, at least right now, I deem them as quality, except for Iowa State. I think they're not.
If you think
the same level,
Texas Tech would be a war, and you said you'd be afraid to play Indiana, that just tells me that there's a lot of parity, like in the top 15 of college football. Because I agree with what you're saying, but I don't think we'd be scared of any of these teams, right?
I'm not.
So I think Tennessee could line up with anybody in the top 15 and win.
Well, college football, we know, like, matchup dependence, also like where the game is played matters a lot. So, like, I'd take my chances against any of these teams.
Like, if Ohio State came into Neyland,
I would be really scared. I would think that Ohio State was going to beat us, but like,
what if Oregon came into Neyland?
I'd be really scared.
I think you could say those two teams are definitely better than us.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, like Oklahoma, Ole Miss, A&M, like, I'm not scared of Miami.
I think Miami's really good.
I
wouldn't be afraid of them, and I think Tennessee could beat Miami, especially in Knoxville.
Who would we be favored against in Knoxville? Would we be favored against everyone besides Ohio State and Oregon?
Well, we weren't favored over Georgia. So I don't think we'd be favored over Georgia.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd be favored over Texas because Texas was favored at Ohio State.
I'm ready for Texas to get some damn reality. I want to really. Any chance Billy and the boys get it together?
That'd be hilarious.
Who are you rooting for? Because you said you're over Texas. Does that mean like you want them to?
I'm never rooting for the Florida Gators.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Like, are you over Texas enough that you want Florida to knock them out and take care of them?
No, I want Florida to crumble.
Bubba, You rooting for Florida or Texas?
Hook 'em.
Sam?
I guess Texas, yeah. I'd prefer that game to end in a tie like last night.
It'd still be kind of funny to watch Florida beat them.
Yeah, and there's a part of me that thinks like, keep Billy around for a while, but I just kind of want them to just.
I feel like that then just opens up the can of worms of like, hey, we got a little bit of life.
Yeah.
Like, what can we do for the rest of the year?
Yeah,
you know,
the fact that Texas is not on our schedule, but we still got to go on the road and play Florida.
Yeah.
Like,
let's just kill them.
Yeah,
let's just get them out of the way.
Yeah, that's got to be the answer there.
It does feel like, though, when you talk about the parity, like you're 100% right. Like, just transfer portal NIL era is winning. It's wide open. I kind of thought, and I think a lot of people did, that all these teams would just turn into feeder systems for the big schools, but it seems like all the other schools got to kind of quit playing poor.
Yeah, everybody's kind of got some players.
They got to kind of quit pretending that, like, hey, we can't afford to be a big boy. It's more like, hey, we better spend or we're going to get left behind and get embarrassed. And it seems like everyone decided, hey, we're going to go spend and not get embarrassed. And that's led to, really, I would say the whole top 25 is legitimate. Like, I thought that Virginia team looked pretty damn good on Friday night. Like, I think Illinois looked
nice.
Illinois looked pretty good against USC. Like, I think the whole top 25.
How about Illinois bouncing back? I was glad to see that. I had that in an early parlay.
Yeah, and Indiana, looked not to be the super scary version against Iowa, but they still won. Unfortunately for some, only by 5 points.
To which the quarterback did apologize.
Bubba, did his apology make you feel better?
No.
Okay. He said he was sorry. I just didn't know if you...
He wanted to give me some of his NIL money to make up for a paycheck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say all fine and dandy, Fernando.
Todd Grantham has been fired amid the Oklahoma State overhaul. They went ahead and cleaned house there of their defensive coordinator. Things were not going well for him. Also, Lane Kiffin said it's a really cool story about his short little quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss.
How short is he? Is that a big talking point? I haven't paid attention to his height.
Listed at 6 foot even.
Okay. Yeah, I guess he is short little
He
quarterback.
didn't receive any Division I scholarships.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Transferred to Ole Miss in May from Division II Ferris State.
6 foot's pretty tall.
You know another famous Ferris State alum?
Bueller?
No. He's a college football coach. Give you a hint. It's the only other time I've ever heard of Ferris State before this Trinidad Chambliss story.
Yeah, I've heard of Ferris. I mean, I know the coach you're talking about. Well, I don't know the coach you're talking about, but I know that there's a coach from there, but I cannot think of who it is.
I'll give you a hint. He once beat Florida and Georgia in the same season and still couldn't win the SEC East.
Butch is a Ferris State alum?
Yeah, Butch Jones.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's where Butch played college ball.
I don't think Butch played college ball. He was in the band.
Did he not? He didn't play at all?
I don't think he did, and maybe he did. Maybe that's not fair. Maybe Butch. I don't ever remember people talking about his playing days.
He had to have played football,
Yeah, he played
didn't
at Ferris State.
Okay, running back, wide
back
receiver, and
wide
cornerback.
receiver, it says.
I don't know if I believe that.
He's this.
I'm sure there's photographic evidence.
Running back,
somewhere.
wide receiver, and corner sounds like he was just Ferris State scout team.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I'm buying this.
It says he returned to Ferris State as the offensive coordinator, and it led them to the top-ranked offense nationally for 3 straight years in whatever division they played in. Ferris State.
0 days since we mentioned Butch Jones.
Yeah.
Bad start for them so far, 1-4.
Yeah, you don't say. They've played a couple of tough teams, though. Joey Aguilar leads the SEC in passing yards through 5 games with 1,459. How about that?
1,000. What was it?
1459.
1459. What's that come out to per game? I guess just under 300.
1459 divided by 5.
292.
There's some Arkansas folks are floating Dan Mullen as a potential candidate. That would be a great hire.
Well, see, that's what I'm wondering. Like, is Bobby Petrino just a placeholder, and like they're going to go out and try to actually like do this search? Because I feel like the benefit of firing Sam Pittman early is that you go out and get your search done, and you hopefully have everything in place by Halloween, and those guys are already out there recruiting. So, like, I don't know if Bobby Petrino is going to have enough time to go out there and win the job. I don't really buy him as an actual candidate.
It looks like the fan base, just based on these comments, do not like Dan Mullen.
Well, they're probably at the point right now, Cody, where they still expect better. Like, Dan Mullen isn't really a sexy name in 2025. And if you're Arkansas and you got that Tyson chicken money and your last coaching hire, you went out and you hired John Calipari from Kentucky, you might actually think you have a little bleep you money laying around and that you might be able to go out and get somebody better than Dan Mullen. But I think if you actually said, hey, here you go, here's Dan Mullen, I think they'd be pretty happy about that. The first name I saw pop up was Rhett Lashley. That's who I saw like was their dream guy.
Yeah.
He
went there.
He went there. He was a GA there. Like he's got the Arkansas ties. He's
young.
He's young. He at least took SMU to the playoff. You know, it doesn't sound like they're very good this year, but
he was an Arkansas quarterback.
Seems like that's.
I feel like that's a guy that you got to still throw a bag at.
It will be.
I mean, you got so much donor support over there at SMU.
It will be, but I think that's going to be kind of the top of their list. I would imagine he would take the job.
Well, the last SMU coach they hired really turned out pretty good, so can't see this one.
Where's Springdale, Arkansas compared to Fayetteville?
About 10 minutes away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So basically he's from Fayetteville?
Yeah.
He was born in Springdale, Arkansas.
Yeah,
so
that's all right there together in
Okay.
NWA. Springdale, Fayetteville, Bentonville, and Rogers.
Okay. So basically he's from there.
Yeah.
That feels like a no-brainer, and it feels like something that he would take unless SMU just has more bleep you money. You know, they just moved to the ACC and had all those people.
Has he turned them down in the past?
Say that again, Seth?
Has he turned them down in the past?
I don't know when he really would have.
No, I mean, he wouldn't have been a head coaching candidate before Pittman had been there.
Yeah, like in 2017, he was UConn's offensive coordinator. In 2018 and 19, he was SMU's offensive coordinator. So, like, maybe he would have had some type of
And he coached under Malzahn, and so they've always got that tie, you know. And
when was Pittman hired? Was Pittman hired in 18?
2020, I believe, was his first season.
Okay.
Or was it 19? It may have been 19. Let me see.
I thought he was hired in 2018, but maybe.
Sam Pittman. Let's see. Yeah. The fact that they ever hired him is crazy to me. He was the coach there from 20 to 25. So.
Okay. So when they hired him in 19, I guess Lashley just would have had maybe 1 year as SMU's offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been a candidate at that point, I wouldn't think.
Any other headlines?
Just baseball getting started. The Mets failed historically.
The Reds finally made the playoffs.
How about that?
Now they got to play the Dodgers.
I love playoff baseball.
At least the Mets lost.
Yeah, at least the Mets lost. I am happy that the Reds made the playoffs, but I got to admit, when I looked and saw that we have to play the Dodgers, all three in L.A., I was like, that ain't going to last very long.
Hey, who knows, man? It's baseball.
The Phoenix Mercury stamped their ticket to the WNBA Finals. Meanwhile, Bob's Indiana Fever forced a Game 5 against the Aces. Kind of crazy that Caitlin Clark quit on the team and that they just keep rolling along and just won't give up on the season. Did you guys see Minnesota's coach on Friday night?
That was awesome.
Cody?
No, I didn't.
One of the all-time coaching meltdown moments.
Oh, I thought you meant the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
No, not PJ Fleck. I'm talking about Cheryl Reeve, the coach of the Minnesota Lynx. You didn't see her?
No,
she went absolutely berserk, and she is a hothead. Last year, whenever they got screwed out of a championship by the officials in Game 5, she really let them have it. But this time, there was a foul. Well, her Nafisa Collier kind of got tackled, hurt. I think it was a clean strip, but then their legs whipped and she sprained her ankle and it went crazy. She ran out on the court and had to be physically restrained from the officials and was going crazy. And then there's another video of her getting ejected and a player taunting her, to which she looks at the fan and says, "Bleep you," right in the face, and then "Bleep you too" to somebody else, and then gets on the podium and in 2 minutes doesn't take a question, but just goes, "The WNBA is completely incompetent. It's bleeping malpractice to put these 3 officials calling playoff games." She just really, really let them have it.
I saw way back in the day, she had another crazy freak out.
No, she's a maniac.
Psychopath.
Yeah, she's a maniac, and like I said, she went crazy last year, and then she did it again.
A little bit unhinged, huh?
A little bit unhinged and emotional, but they lost. They blew it. They had a big fourth quarter lead last night, down their best player and their coach. And then they were up 14 points going into the quarter. And then with about 3 minutes left, they had been outscored 17-2 in the quarter, and they ended up losing. So that was a good way to have Minnesota plus 4.5 to have that fourth quarter happen, Bubba, and lose by 5. So that was good for me. That's worse than a safety costing you a thing.
No, not in this scenario, bud.
Scoring 2 points in 8 minutes. Pretty damn bad. Let's go to break. We'll come back. We'll talk some more football. Let's talk sports on FanRun Radio.
For the fans, by the fans, this is FanRun Radio, Knoxville.
With over 60 years of experience in the industry, Merritt Garage Doors has a wealth of expertise in commercial overhead doors in the East Tennessee area. Merritt offers a wide range of door styles like sectionals, rolling steel, high-speed, and sheet doors. They also supply and install a wide range of dock equipment. If your business is in need of overhead doors, no matter the type, look no further than Merritt Garage Door, Knoxville's best and most trusted overhead door company. Contact them anytime for a free estimate at 865-933-5319 or online at merrittgaragedoor.com.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, "I've got your back." That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-88-99789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
It's football time at Tennessee, so crack open a cold beer that doesn't fumble the flavor. Garage Beer is 100% beer-flavored beer. No gimmicks, just cold beer. Built for bonfires, backyards, and beating Bama. Garage Beer is proud to be brewed right here in the Volunteer State. So pick up a 12-pack today and look for the drive celebrating Football Fridays at select Garage Beer headquarters around town this fall. American-owned, Tennessee-brewed Garage Beer. 100% beer-flavored beer.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
And if the beat live, real high girl.
NFL.
All right.
A weekend has come and gone. We got our first international game. It started at 9:30.
Yep, and I missed everything about it. Could have started a couple different receivers. Made a big mistake there. It gets me every year, the damn international game. Every year.
Did it sneak up on you?
Snuck up on me. I could have had Addison or Metcalf, and I 100% would have taken either one of them. I have reached the point where it is time to bench A.J. Brown.
I don't think you would have. Who are you going to put on the bench for him? I think that's
A.J. Brown.
You wouldn't have benched A.J. Brown.
I swear.
No,
I
you
swear I
would have. You're looking at the result and trying to go back and say, "Oh, I would have done this." You wouldn't have done that.
I promise you. Had I known, I wouldn't have gone with Metcalf. I'll be honest about that. But had I known Jordan Addison was available and ready to go at 9 a.m., I would have.
You would 100%. Not have taken Jordan Addison over A.J. Brown. That's not true. Okay. That's a lie.
Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe for one more week, I would have just stuck with A.J. Brown. But
Jordan Addison coming off a suspension in Ireland.
But maybe in the flex.
With Carson Wentz as a quarterback against Pittsburgh's defense.
Fine. But maybe in the flex, I would have had Jordan Addison.
You know what would have been really nice is maybe to have Justin Jefferson in the flex.
Don't even say it. Don't even say it.
Having Justin Jefferson in the flex would have looked really good. Still the dumbest trade I think I've ever seen in fantasy. I got to be honest. That was a big part of my takeaway from yesterday's NFL action was, wow, Cody traded Justin Jefferson for CeeDee Lamb after CeeDee Lamb was basically said he was going to be out at least 3 to 4 weeks. A guy whose wide receivers are A.J. Brown and Keenan Allen looked and said, you know what? I don't need Justin Jefferson.
I thought it would pay off.
Well, it did pay off for.
I thought it would pay off
for your ops. Your ops. RB got a nice win. He eked out a win over you because you had 1 point from A.J. Brown. Justin Jefferson, meanwhile, just got fed in Ireland.
I thought at some point it was going to pay off,
and it still might. Tough feeling yesterday in fantasy in the Station League, watching Tim go for 140 points. It's a helpless feeling watching the top scorer, or at least the top 2 scorer in the league, just beat your brains in. Nice of Ashton Genty to show up for the season. Glad he picked this week to go crazy. But from a non-fantasy perspective, Sam, Cody, anything stand out to you fantasy-wise? Or excuse me, NFL-wise, football-wise?
Yeah, I mean, it was, the Chiefs really making a statement against the Ravens. You knew one of those teams was about to start 1-3, and you didn't really expect that. Nobody would have said that at the start of the year. The Ravens, man, they've lost to 3 really good teams. But the fact is they are 1-3. And maybe the old quote about what's the old quote? I wasn't dead yet. The one that's like, much to your Yep, I don't know. But anyway,
the reports of my demise
that's the
were
one.
Greatly exaggerated.
That's the one. That's what I was looking for. Thanks. Maybe for the Chiefs. Maybe the reports of their demise were exaggerated.
They had a little bit more wiggle with Xavier Worthy back in the lineup. And kind of like we've talked about with Tennessee, as guys start getting banged up, teams start getting banged up, I do think it would be nice for the Chiefs to get Worthy back and then in a couple weeks get Rashee Rice back. And then all of a sudden Patrick Mahomes might have some weapons. Patrick Mahomes might have some guys they can actually get the ball out to that can make that offense not be so boring.
Maybe picking up Tyquan Thornton was a waste of money.
Yeah.
I'm falling apart in almost every league.
For a guy that says he's so good at fantasy, it has been a rough
year
start
every
for you.
year, Cody.
I typically am good at fantasy.
I guess the auto draft didn't save you this year.
I mean, we're 2-2 in 2 leagues, but in this station league, we've now fallen to 1-3, and it's not looking good. But
even Big William got a win yesterday, so like last place kind of back on the table.
You don't know that yet.
Oh, did he not? I looked last night. He didn't beat you?
He's still got a couple players to go, but so do I.
Oh, okay.
I got Jamar Chase and Breece Hall.
Oh, okay.
But he's got A-Chain and RJ Harvey up 13.
Oh, no, okay.
He's going to likely win, but I have a chance.
Did you have somebody in the Sunday night game that went crazy or something? Because when I looked at around like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, did you have somebody like in the late afternoon go crazy? I thought I looked and I thought he was projected to win by like 40, so I thought.
I mean, like DeAndre Swift got a touchdown late. The Ibuka big touchdown helped me.
Maybe his two guys just didn't score. I don't know.
That ball ain't round.
Never mind. I take that back, Sam. Sorry.
It's an outside shot, but I still got a chance.
Honestly, I'd probably rather be in your position.
I mean, RJ Harvey has been a bust so far.
Yeah, I think
A-Chain could get hurt immediately. Who knows?
I think I would rather be in your position. I think you're going to win. I think Jamar Chase
with a backup quarterback and Pat Surtain on him, though, that's not giving me a whole lot of confidence.
The backup quarterback has usually wanted to feed Jamar, but the matchup there. Never mind. That's a tough matchup.
Yeah.
The Chargers finally fall to the New York Giants.
On the flip side, though, Sam, I can see Breece Hall going for about 150 yards against that Dolphins defense.
That's true. I could use like a 2-touchdown night from him, maybe.
One of those guys. Between Chase and Hall, you got somebody that's going to pop, though. Mm-hmm. Somebody's going to pop for 25.
I'm hoping.
What were you saying, Cody? Who finally lost?
The Chargers lost. They took an L to the New York Giants.
Didn't really look like a top 3 team like you had them in your power rankings last week.
Yeah, well, criticize. How good is that Omarion Hampton, though? That guy, stud running back.
He was good yesterday. He hadn't really done anything the first 3 weeks of the season, but he did finally pop yesterday.
The Eagles just keep on being the Eagles, man. Now they've added some different elements to this tush-push formation. They've gotten creative.
Why'd they bust that out so quick? I would have kept that in the back pocket for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just get people real pissed off about it for the regular season, and then like playoff time, you just put that out a couple times.
I always wonder that, but I feel like it's just all such I feel like coaches just want to give guys more stuff to prepare for.
Yeah,
and I also feel like there's something there probably where the offensive coordinator is probably trying to get stuff on film. That way, he's interviewing for another job, like. If you are in a position, you're showing off all this creative stuff, even against like loser teams, people take notice. Like Ben Johnson, I mean, he memed his way into being like an offensive genius just by running trick plays and like beating the hell out of bad teams. Like that's what they were focused on. And then, in the playoffs, it didn't necessarily go so well, but he had already been stamped as a genius because he scored 50 points against the Titans.
Nice win for Ben Johnson and the boys yesterday too. The Bears getting a nice road win.
I was more impressed with what the Lions continue to do without Ben Johnson. I think, we talked about it. I said week 1's a liar, not to overreact to week 1. And then I overreacted to week 1 about the Lions struggling with the Packers. The Packers came out as Super Bowl favorites, and the Lions came out as dead. Fast forward 3 more weeks, and the Lions look like they are as good as ever. Offensively, still dominant, still explosive. Defensively, they're healthy. And then, you combine that with the Packers, who haven't looked very good. And the Lions right now, I think, made a statement. I am back. I'm back as my Super Bowl pick, my preseason pick, Lions. I'm riding with you. Let's go, boys. Honolulu blew me. Let's go.
Pause.
Ben Johnson's a jerk. I don't imagine you were probably watching that Raiders. I don't think you were watching that Raiders-Bears game. Either one of you were you at halftime?
I did just see a clip of it, though.
Yeah, I was
he's
watching.
Just like, what do you think?
Oh, you saw that? Okay, because
I saw it on Twitter.
He came out, and I was watching. I had the Raiders, so it was good. I love how it's been a bad little stretch here for your boy pick of games. It's a bad feeling when kickers are easily making 55, 60-yarders against you, and that when you're lining up for a game-winning field goal from 50, you get blocked. Like, this is kind of how it goes, but that's what happened in the Raiders-Bears game. But coming out of halftime, they had struggled, and this woman was trying to interview him. It's like, Ben, the offense isn't going – it's not looking good right now. I was like, oh, you think so? That's what you think? And she's like, well, yeah. And then, like, at the end, she asked another question about getting it on track and about how they've been off track. And she was asking some weird questions. He's like, oh, is that what you think? That's your thought there? Okay. And she's just kind of giving him a smile like, you're a jerk. And he's giving her a smile like, I hate you. But then they won. So now the Bears and Ben Johnson get to say they've won 2 in a row and feel pretty good.
That pass from Baker Mayfield to Bucky Irving down the sideline was nice.
That pass Baker Mayfield made in the end zone to the Eagles defensive back was equally amazing in a bad way. The throw that hit Bucky Irving in stride was awesome. The throw before that to Egbuka was nasty too, over 2 guys. But then Baker, as they're making this big comeback, they're trying to do to the Eagles what the Eagles did to the Rams the week before. Baker gets lost in the sauce and is out there scrambling around and making crazy plays, and he's evading a sack, and then he throws one of the worst interceptions you'll ever see.
Yeah,
in the end zone, just completely kills the comeback.
Speaking of the Rams, they beat the Colts 27-20. Stafford with 375 yards.
So, Bubba, walk me through this. You talked about it at the beginning. I saw the end of the game. I was watching it. I saw Puka continue to dominate, best receiver in the NFL, or at least Stafford and Puka, the best combo in the NFL. I saw the long throw to Tutu Atwell, which would have been a killer if you had the Colts plus 3.5. That'd have been a killer to let that 88-yard touchdown go. But Adonai Mitchell, he did the Deshaun Jackson. Adonai Mitchell, he dropped the ball before he went to the end zone.
He did. Would have had possibly one of the catches of the year, to where he was kind of running and the ball just kind of fit itself into his right arm, like one-handed, but like just kind of fit right in there. And then he did a couple moves, all the way down, broke free. And then right before the goal line, just puts it in his left hand and it just, or right hand, I don't know, camera could be flipped, but in his hand, and it just falls. And then it goes to the back of the end zone before he can recover it.
How are we still making that mistake?
I think the focus on celebrations and the filming after any big play definitely hurts that, they always expect a touchdown celebration. It's in all the video games now. As an old man, I hate that stuff, John. I hate that.
Well,
as a result, my guy who had a clear free touchdown decides, I don't want that. So then the Colts don't go up by a touchdown. Because I think at that point it would have been like 24, like 17, something like that, And then Adonai Mitchell also towards the end of the game, again, what's his face? Jonathan Taylor breaks free, huge run, right?
Yeah.
All the way down. But then there's like, flag on the play.
I was watching when that happened. I missed him dropping the ball before the end zone, though. I don't think that's a new thing, though, Bubba, like with the celebration and everything, because the NFL the celebrations used to be a much bigger deal back, in the T.O. Chad Johnson days when they're making sure they're getting their patented celebrations off at the end of 2008, 2009. And then around 2013 or 14, I feel like we really hit the tipping point with guys dropping the ball before they get to the end zone. But I feel like that had kind of gotten coached out of the game. I feel like we hadn't really seen too many of those mistakes recently. So that's tough for your boys to do that.
Yeah, I mean, we could have been up by 2 scores if those plays would have happened. Who knows what would have happened, but
watching Byron Young try to chase Jonathan Taylor down that long touchdown on the one that was the hold, though, was pretty crazy.
I mean, right now, the Rams' defensive line, I think, is the scariest out of anybody's. Byron Young and Jared Verse just ate. They were hungry and they decided they wanted to eat.
Those guys are beasts. Sam, anything else from NFL Sunday stand out to you?
My takeaway was honestly going to be the Rams, and I just think as long as Stafford stays healthy, they're the biggest threat to the Eagles in the NFC, but we kind of covered it right there.
The offensive line, not great with the Rams, but Stafford, good enough at getting the ball out. You know, I think the Stafford injury, the Stafford health, you know, obviously very important, but I still just Puka's just a damn battering ram.
He's my favorite quarterback of like my generation too.
Stafford is?
Yeah, he's so good at getting his wide receiver ones just the rock just all the time.
I did such a change on Stafford, and it's one of those things that I don't know if I was wrong or if he just got better and evolved, but like I did not like him with the Lions. I thought a lot of what he did was like empty calorie stuff or just like bleep it. Calvin Johnson is down there somewhere. I'm just going to throw it up. But I feel like once he lost Calvin Johnson, like he just evolved so much as a quarterback, and you know, his toughness is unmatched. You know, you saw the one where he separated his shoulder and went down there and got it done. Like I do like Stafford too. I don't know if I can call him my favorite quarterback of the generation, but he's really, really damn good and really damn tough. And
like the guy got Kenny Galladay back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons at some point. Like he's just I don't know if there's anyone as talented just throwing the football as him.
He's good. He's smart, and that team is good. And you know that duo of wide receivers with Adams and Puka, just really, really good. And like I said, Puka's just a battering ram. I think he's, for my money right now, the wide receiver I trust the most, just to roll out and get you 100 yards.
How about those Jacksonville Jaguars? Nice 26-21 road win in San Francisco.
How about the post-game stuff that happened?
Ricky Pearsall getting hurt. Juwan Jennings getting into the medical tent either when he's hurt because Ricky Pearsall's in there.
Pearsall got hurt.
And then Juwan Jennings got hurt like immediately afterwards.
They need a new tent.
They need a new training staff or something. Like I always feel like that's a redneck take to always like blame the training staff for these athletes to get hurt in this really violent game. But like the 49ers are just a mass unit year in, year out. They just get hurt.
Yeah, the Salah stuff about the sign stealing earlier in the week, and did you see Cohen's post-game comments?
I saw the post-game brouhaha. Like after
keep
the
my
game.
name out of your effing mouth. I'll F your world up. You don't want to F with me. I will effing end your effing life.
Wall Street.
Which, like, I feel like you mean like in a fight? Because I feel like Salah would beat the brakes off of Liam Cohen,
right?
Yeah, it's not a guy. When I look at Robert Salah, that guy looks like some sort of trained military assassin. That's not a guy I would probably want to pick a fight with.
Unless he like knows, you know, some skeletons about Salah and like the defense.
He's got a really good scouting report on him fighting too.
Maybe that. Yeah, maybe he stole the signs on what Salah likes to do, and he's gonna punch him in his neck. Maybe there's skeletons in San Francisco. Maybe they do some cheating themselves. Maybe Liam Cohen is just crazy. Maybe he's a badass. Maybe he would beat his ass. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but maybe. You can't always look. The guy with the biggest muscles doesn't always win the fights. You know what I mean? Like
true.
That doesn't always happen.
That's true. But when I see these two side by side, it's there's one clear guy I'm taking. I know that much.
I would say like Cohen did kind of jack him up, you know, on the field, but I think that was more about the Jaguars defense. Like the Jaguars defense forcing turnovers and getting enough stops. The Jaguars had a big second quarter, but then in the late in the fourth quarter was like first downs is half, the 49ers 11, Jacksonville 2. And Trevor Lawrence is like sliding out of bounds when they should have been running the clock and, you know, almost gave the ball back to the 49ers, but instead they were able to pick up a first down and be able to nail it out. The Jaguars have to feel good about themselves. Like it does seem like the Jaguars and Colts and Texans, you know, all probably feel like they still have a chance to win the AFC South. The Titans do not, but the other three teams, you know,
nice
mostly
shutout victory for the Texans yesterday. Is old boy still employed? I mean, is he still
somehow?
Does that happen today?
They're giving him a press conference this morning, so I'd imagine he's got another day at least.
Jeez.
Saw some guys in Nashville say that typically Amy does firings on Tuesday, but like I don't feel like you let him. I don't feel like you let him go do a press conference. You see his dust up with the media after the game. as Paul Koharski was trying to ask him about, is your team resilient and tough and all this stuff that like Callahan says he wants his team to be?
I liked Cam Ward's quote. If I'm keeping, what did he say? If I'm keeping it 100, or if
I'm keeping it a buck,
we ass.
We ass.
Yeah.
And they asked him how he played. He said ass. Which he was awful.
Dropped a quarter of our effing games.
I mean, he was awful yesterday.
Yeah.
Like I think I've had some water doused on me a little bit with Cam Ward, but it's mostly just because like the rest of the team is just so bad and the coaching is so bad that like at a certain point you worry that a full season of being bad is just detrimental to a coach's growth. And that's why I didn't want to roll with Callahan this year. And it's why I think it's just so dumb and really inexplicable. Really inexplicable. I know in the NFL it's not really common, but like I think it's early enough in the season where I would fire Callahan and try to hire somebody right now.
Is that can you do that?
You can. And in soccer, it happens a lot. In the NBA, I mean, the Hawks did it 3 years ago, whenever that was. The Hawks fired Nate McMillan, and they said, hey, we want Quinn Snyder. He's not coaching. You're coming in. You're coaching the last month and a half, 2 months of the season. You're getting your system in place. We're using the rest of this year as like, basically you getting to know the players and starting to instill your principles to get a jump start on next year. And I would say that like it was a good move. I mean, like Quinn Snyder and the Hawks, I think are in a good spot now, and I liked that we didn't waste a couple months doing it. Also, you didn't have to worry about other teams trying to hire him.
Has anyone done that in football though? Like I feel like basketball is just much easier to be like, hey, kind of roll it out there, and we'll go figure it out game by game. Whereas like NFL, it's installing a whole new offense.
Yeah, no,
defense, all that stuff.
It doesn't really happen in college. Sometimes it'll happen, but like they don't like take over, right? They get hired, and like that'll happen this year where somebody like agrees to a job in like October or November. But it's like I'm not jumping ship just yet.
I have seen a lot of Titans accounts wanting Mike McCarthy.
You know what? I was gonna say I think I'm fully on board with it. Like, and that would be the benefit. Like I think if I wanted Mike McCarthy, I would try to hire him and just like give him control now and just be like, come in here and just it's rotten, just fix it. Get your hands on Cam Ward as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like house money for whatever happens the rest of this year, but just put the building blocks in place for the future type of thing.
It's just all about the culture and Cam Ward.
Yeah.
And maybe Mike McCarthy look at that and say, hell no. But like, I don't think people are going to be necessarily beating his door down and like, hey, it's your chance to coach the number 1 overall pick and like give him all the money he wants. I don't care. McCarthy's won a bunch of games. Like I think he deserves respect. Like he commands respect. Like he's an adult. Callahan's not an adult in NFL terms.
He's adult.
He is adult. So that is true. He's not an adult, but he is adult. Nice.
Yeah, DOLT.
I would like that. No, I don't think. Like it's crazy. It was crazy to me, Sam, that they didn't fire him after last week's debacle against Indianapolis, where they clearly quit, and the other players are talking about how they knew the team would quit. But to follow that up and get shut out the next week, and like the fourth quarter was just gross. Like you quit again. I feel like that's something like you got to make a change. But I know Amy is afraid of being called an irrational woman because she got destroyed by the press for firing Vrabel because of him hurting her feelings by complimenting the Patriots. So
I still just think that's when it's going to happen.
What?
Patriots are going to come into town and embarrass us, and that'll be the last straw for her.
She can't give
Patriots looked good yesterday.
She can't give him the sasatisfaction of that. Do it now.
That's true.
Yeah, do it now. Don't let him be the reason that you fire the next guy. Go ahead and fire him now. It's only going to get worse. If
maybe
it's
try and beat him with the interim coach bump.
If it's Callahan versus Vrabel, that only goes poorly for the Titans. Yeah, like at least if it's an interim, you can say, we lost an interim. Who cares? Patriots did look good yesterday. Their punt team, their punt return team looked awesome.
Special teams. The Panthers, they just won 30-0 over the Falcons, and they follow it up next week. And beat by the Patriots.
I think that was
what the heck.
It was a lot of fluky stuff that they beat the Falcons with. Although shout out to Drake London, welcome to the season.
Malik Neighbors also, he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Or it appears that way.
Last call on the other side. Good. Let's talk sports on FANRUN Radio.
Big Orange Country's home for sports. This is Fan Run Radio.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 865-544-8220. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at menspro-knoxville.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor, but we've helped so many guys in here just like you. Even if pills have failed, our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, performance, Peyronie's, size and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic performance and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 865-544-8220 or book in 30 seconds or less at menspro-knoxville.com. Men's Pro Knoxville, making it happen.
For over 3 years, Crumble Cookies has served the Knoxville area. From Clinton Highway to Parkside Drive, even our friends out in Maryville have reached you, our fans, with the best cookies in the game. This fall, Crumble is gearing up for yet another fantastic season. Whether you're tailgating or looking for a pick-me-up after getting the kids from school, Crumble has you covered. Download the Crumble app to check out this week's rewards and features. And stop on by. Tell them FanRun sent you, but don't miss the cookies.
At Knoxville Insurance Group, they understand the challenges many consumers face when searching for insurance coverage. That's why whether it's for you, your family, or your business, they create a coverage plan specifically for your unique needs. Knoxville Insurance Group is an independent firm, which means they aren't beholden to just one insurance company. They search multiple companies acting as your negotiator to find you the best possible policy and price. Start a quote in minutes at KnoxvilleInsuranceGroup.com or call them today at 865-694-9788.
Are you tired of spending hours on laundry and ironing? Let Crown Cleaners handle your dry cleaning so you can handle your business. Our expert team can take care of your clothes, removing stains and wrinkles like they were never there. Whether it's your best suit or everyday attire, we handle it all at Crown Cleaners. Say goodbye to laundry stress and hello to extra free time. Crown Cleaners, Big Orange Country's imperial dry cleaning service since the 1960s. Online at crowncleaners.com.
Program Joshua Josephs named Defensive Player of the Week by the Senior Bowl. 9 tackles, and of course a scoop and score touchdown. It's nice when the guys that you want to pop, that you see the vision for as they get better. Like you saw signs of it last year, and you thought, okay, he could step up. He could take the place of what James Pierce Jr. is leaving, and he has done that for sure. So shout out to Joshua Josephs. Cody, you didn't give the people the update on the Super Bowl halftime show. The Super Bowl halftime performer has been announced.
Yeah, it has been announced, and I was shocked. I didn't think Bad Bunny. I hadn't even heard his name in the running. I didn't know he was an option. I know they wanted Taylor Swift, obviously, and then she wouldn't do it because sorry about that. Had to sneeze. They wanted Taylor Swift, and then the NFL wouldn't cater to her demands. She thought she would try to be special. She wanted money for her performance. She wanted extra for the halftime performance. You got to know, Taylor, you don't get paid for the Super Bowl halftime show.
Was that the hang-up? She wanted money for her performance?
I think money, and she wanted to control some video rights and stuff like that. I read.
The money thing surprises me, but her wanting to put her stamp on it doesn't really surprise me because I think she is somebody that's on equal footing with the Super Bowl. So like I kind of see her at least viewing herself that way. She doesn't need to perform the Super Bowl.
She doesn't need to raise her. Yeah, I mean, she doesn't. Yeah. You think she's on equal footing with the NFL? Like, I mean, I know she's with the people huge star.
With the people she needs to be. Like she's not getting much bigger.
But is the NFL not still? I mean, the NFL's bigger than Taylor Swift, right?
If Cody's roommate was watching a random concert, would he have gone like Taylor Swift or Super Bowl?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, the NFL's bigger, I'll say, but like I don't say it with a lot of confidence. But they have their performer, Bad Bunny, which I gotta say, the tweets that people are going to fire off at halftime of the Super Bowl are going to be maybe set a record of anger and venom when everyone realizes that Bad Bunny has no songs in English. People are going to be upset about that.
I got 5 months to learn.
If they didn't like Kendrick Lamar, if they didn't like Usher or Eminem and Dr. Dre, if they didn't like that and The Weeknd and Bruno Mars and all those people, I got a feeling they really ain't going to like the guy that can't sing in English. Bub, anything noteworthy we missed on the way out?
We missed a couple things. We missed Juju Watkins out again for the 25-26 season for USC.
That stinks for the women's game.
Cooked. We've missed Pete Alonso saying he does not want to come back to New York Mets. Going to wait a free agency.
He's I'm opted out and I'm gone.
Yep. We have Al Horford joining the Golden State Warriors.
That's been like rumored for like 3 months now, 4 months now. Whenever July, whatever, however long that was. They were just trying to figure out what they were doing with Jonathan Kuminga and that spot. But now Horford got tired of waiting. Said that he's signing with the Warriors. I was kind of hoping that he would come back and play with the Hawks.
Also had the Steelers backup quarterback robbed in Dublin. Pretty rocky road there.
Skylar Thompson.
That's one of my favorite ice creams.
Kansas State.
Rocky road to Dublin.
Bad last couple months for Kansas State and Ireland. Ireland has no love for Kansas State.
And we have Fernando Mendoza on a watch list. I'm not going to say which one.
You're going to be on a watch list if you keep saying stuff like that. That'll do it for us today. The Tony Basilio Show up next. The Playbook with William Patterson. The Drive with Russell Smith and Bob Baskerville and the Bear. Stay locked in on FanRun Radio. We got you covered.
Take FanRun Radio with you on the all-new FanRun app. Just search for FanRun Radio wherever you download your apps.
Citizens National Bank.
Kick off this football season with a CNB Plus Perks checking account. Move downfield with free online and mobile banking. And cross the goal line with extended evening hours and Saturday banking. Banking at CNB has its perks. Find out more at cnbtn.com.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine. Live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP.